affect your kidneys.
Okay.
It can affect it would not affect, of course, your development because
You're already developed.
Supposedly you're already developed, but I can't imagine it's good for you. You have to look that up to see what it causes. And the weather this week, it looks like we're in for what looks like to be a pretty nice, warm, and for the most part dry week with sunshine and temperatures in the low to mid 80s. And then Kenny Chesney was
past Thursday.
This past Thursday.
Yeah.
Okay.
Great show. There's another country artist coming to the area. The rising country star is coming to the fair. Megan Maroney will perform at Suburban Park Monday, August 26th.
Okay. That would be at the State Fair.
Yes. Is that the girl that was with?
She opened up for Kenny Chesney.
Oh, so she's coming back. Yeah. Okay.
This makes you really kind of wonder. Amazon is now apologizing. How in the world could something like this happen? After a video shows one of their drivers delivering a package to a home in Massachusetts, the home was on fire. The guy drops the package and leaves. The family wasn't there at the time, and the driver apparently did not call 911, did not report the fire.
What?
No, did nothing. It is like, did the person not see? I can't imagine he couldn't see. The whole garage was on fire.
Well, a lot of these drivers, they have a route and they have a lot of
I got stuff to do.
Deliver.
I can't be dragged into
some. They have their AirPods in.
Fire.
They're not listening to anything but their music.
Here's audio.
It's a little disturbing to know that this could have been prevented. If you see a fire, maybe call 911 or the fire department before you go on to your next delivery. The customer service lady said, I spoke to 2 managers and they're not willing to take your call because it wasn't their fault with the fire. And again, it wasn't to place blame. It was really more of an educational piece. Like, hey, maybe you can use this information to teach your drivers a little bit better to, if you see something, say something, especially a fire.
If you see something, say something stupid.
Well, and my question is, you know how they take a picture of the package once they've delivered it?
Yeah.
With their flames in the background?
Smoke and flames in the background.
Oh, my God.
Mike, this morning, perhaps we can declare that alleyway the Museum of Ground Glass and charge money to visit it. The other idea is, with the way it looks, you can make it into a heck of a Halloween venue. Or if you're looking to shoot chroma key, if you can just shoot up and, raise your tripod and shoot down, you might be able to get a nice chroma key shot there. And Andrew, on the lead, Andrew can be exposed to as much lead as he wants. His brain is developed.
Thank you.
As developed as it ever will be. Take that for what it is.
Thank you, Michael.
All right, quick break. We'll come right back here. Welcome to Monday Morning at WIBX.
Memorial Day deals are here at Mattress Express. Save up to $500 on select Tempur-Pedic sets and then get up to a $300 prepaid Visa card from Mattress Express. Then take up to 60 months to pay with no money down for qualified buyers on Tempur-Pedic at Mattress Express.
Hey, Frank, looks like business is booming. What are all those tabs you have open on your computer?
Oh, hey. Well, this one is for my SEO company. This one is for my website company. This one is for my CRM. This is for invoicing and estimates. This one does email. And this one does billing.
Jeez, that sounds tricky to manage.
It's clunky, but I need all this to run my business. Wait, you run your own business and you're even busier than I am. Don't you have all this stuff too?
I do, but I get it all on one screen with the Town Square Business Management Platform.
What's that?
The Town Square Business Management Platform is an all-in-one tool that helps me grow and run my business. It combines website, billing, and scheduling into one program.
That sounds simpler than juggling all the tools I have now, but you still need someone else to help you find new business, right?
Nope, they have powerful digital advertising built into the platform as well, which helps me keep my calendar full. You can get a demo of the product for free. Check out their website. See if it makes sense for your business.
Go to townsquarelocal.com for a free demo of the Town Square Business Management Platform. Visit townsquarelocal.com. That's townsquarelocal.com.
We used to argue about whose turn it was to clean the gutters, but then I had leaf filter gutter protection installed.
Wait, I told you Leaf Filter had free inspections and estimates and a lifetime guarantee.
Meaning we never have to argue about whose turn it is to clean the gutters again.
But I visited leaffilter.com/triumph first.
No, I did.
It doesn't matter who. Visit leaffilter.com/triumph to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off today. See representative for warranty details. Promotion is 20% off plus a 10% senior or military discount. One discount per household.
This is Keeler in the morning. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
Tell me if this is going too far. So you remember the story of the woman who was the school teacher, and she decided that she was going to make a ton of money, and has made a ton of money, on posing nude on OnlyFans.
Yes, as is her right.
And it was the right of the school to say, okay, I think you're going to have to quit.
Move along.
And she did. She said, listen, I chose, now that I'm not sure she would have had the opportunity to continue to choose to continue to teach, but she did choose OnlyFans because she was making so much money. And there's a window in there, right? I think there's a window of, I don't know, popular ages to be on a nude website.
Yeah, I think there's an age in a particular for you to be profitable. Physical
a particular
requirement.
look, yeah. Anyway, she apparently checked all the boxes. Here in Texas, there's another story of a press conference that was held in Houston, Texas. Quantel X talking about a woman who posted several videos of herself stripping while working at school.
Oh.
So this goes that much further. So she was doing the stripping, but she was actually still working, and she was doing the videos from the school. In one of the censored videos, it is shown while he speaks, the teacher's school credential with her name and picture is dangling off her bare chest. She's like flaunting it. Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Pertaining to all of this, clearly this is a problem. It would have been a problem if she was caught doing it from her own home.
Yeah.
But in this case, she's actually doing it from the school. Here's a little audio from the school district.
In an elementary school, teaching our children, we got a teacher in the classroom on school hours, stripping down butt naked, bending over, and showing everything on the video, and all you could see was cellulite hanging in pubic hair. This is a disgrace and a shame that this is the type of educator and teacher that is in the classroom.
I think we've played enough of this clip, but
hope you're enjoying your breakfast.
Wow. Yeah, this I mean, you got to have some gall to be going down that road, right?
Oh, my God.
I do want to check in if we can. Davey, let me see if Davey's going to allow this to happen. Davey, I would like to check in, if you could, for me. I wanted to find out what the latest is on the Trump verdict, when to expect sentencing and all of that stuff. Do you think you can get Tanya Powers for me? All right. You say you can?
Yeah, just ready. Go right now.
Okay. Hi, Tanya, is that you?
It is.
Wow, that
Davey.
was fast.
Jeez.
And he's got you on speed dial.
He's good at his job. If he hasn't had a raise by now, what are y'all doing with your lives?
You're right. You're right.
Tell him to get in line.
We better make sure we
Okay,
keep him before Jimmy Fallon takes him.
I'm telling you.
Yeah. Okay. So the Trump verdict, of course, we had a chance this weekend, all the Sunday shows, and to soak all of this in. Where do we go from here?
Well, there are many different things that are coming kind of down the pipeline. So we'll start with the appeals process. Of course, they have already said that they're going to appeal. Sentencing is set for July 11th. We'll find out then, what the judge is thinking in terms of, whether it will be a prison sentence, whether it will be home confinement or fines. I mean, there are several different options that could take. There are more cases, as we know. There are 3 more cases that he's been indicted in. 2 of those are related to efforts to overturn his defeat in the 2020 election. One of those is, of course, in Georgia. The other one is in Washington, D.C. It's more January 6th related. And a third is focused on those secret government documents they found at Mar-a-Lago when the FBI went in there. That's, of course, in Florida. So you got 2 states in a district. There is something else that I think is more important, not more important, but as important that I don't want us to miss, which is kind of what I'm watching, is later this month, sometime before the end of June, let me put it that way, and because we don't know when, the Supreme Court is expected to give its ruling on his immunity claim. Remember, he has basically claimed immunity for official acts taken as president. Anything he did as president, and especially regarding the 2020 election subversion case, that's what they're going to rule on, is whether he can say, well, I have immunity because I was president, no matter what I did, basically. That is going to be something that could affect those other cases. It will tell us a lot about the way that the Supreme Court is looking at this sort of stuff. When we get that ruling, again, it's expected before the end of the month. So that's kind of the one that I'm really watching.
Yeah. And didn't we already kind of address this during the Nixon administration?
Yes.
One would think.
We did, actually. Yeah, you're right. That has already kind of been decided. But it is back before the Supreme Court, and we will find out again, what the makeup of the court is, and I mean, the way the court operates, quite honestly, is different now than it was, during the Nixon administration anyway.
Surely, yeah.
But yeah, that we'll find out how they are ruling and what they think of this.
Okay, and that is expected. That always comes in June, so sometime this month. We would expect that to be coming soon. Hopefully, the information doesn't leak out before and turns into a big controversy.
Oh, my gosh.
I mean, the decision alone is going to be controversial. So
it is. It's going to be very controversial. And I mean, they love them some drama. So I wouldn't be surprised if this is not the last day of – because they in June, they kind of do a little bit of this piecemeal. They'll do 3 or 4 decisions this day, and they'll do a couple more on this day, and the next week they'll do 3 or more. So you never really know, okay, here's when they're all coming out. They could be – this could be like the mic drop at the end of the month where they're like, okay, see you, bye, we're on vacation.
Right. Yeah.
Bye-bye.
They're going to do it on a Friday night.
Well, and I would caution everybody on this, no matter where you are, if you're pro-President Trump or anti-President Trump, wherever you might be. Do we want to give carte blanche, whatever you want to do, go at it to future presidents? And I would think the answer to that would be no, although President Trump says, I couldn't be president unless I had full immunity. I couldn't do the things that I have to do. That, to me, just doesn't make any sense. I can't imagine this going any other way than the Supreme Court saying, rejecting this concept. But, stranger things have happened. Let's see what happens here.
Yeah, I mean, if you look back at the whole reason the country was founded in the first place, they didn't want a king. They didn't want a monarch.
Right,
they didn't want somebody who just did whatever they wanted, and that was it. They'd had enough of that. That's why they left where they were.
Yes.
So yeah, you'd think that would be the understood sort of thing. But yeah, it's in the hands of the Supreme Court as far as this particular ruling goes.
All right, we'll see what happens. Tanya, as always, we learn so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Have a great day. Tanya J. Powers from Fox News Radio.
Davey, good job.
Davey, that was fast, man. I don't know how you did it so quickly.
I worked my power.
This is an amazing story. And sometimes amazing stories hit, and in my mind, I'm like, I can completely relate. I feel like I, too, have these amazing powers.
Oh, really?
Like ESP.
Mm-hmm.
No, I don't. I don't have ESPN. I wish I did.
I don't have ESPN because I got rid of cable.
That's a good point. Okay, a woman claims, and apparently this is a real condition. A woman says she has a rare condition called hypothymesia.
I feel like I've heard that before, but I don't know what.
So funny you say it that way. Because that's what it's all about.
Hypothymesia.
Hyperthymesia.
Mm-hmm.
Hyperthymesia. It allows and it makes it so she can remember every single day of her life, including, and I wonder if this is more learned behavior, but they say no. She can remember every single day of her life, including being in her mother's womb.
Get that.
Mm-hmm.
No. No, don't believe it.
Here is Rebecca Sherrick talking about what she remembers from the very, very first day she was born.
I don't remember leaving the womb, but I remember being in a bed with glass walls around me, and I was on a cotton blanket, and my head was up just looking. And I can't say for certain if that was the day I was born because I didn't know calendars at that young age, but I'm guessing that it was on or around that time.
Yeah. Now, what is very interesting about this is this woman is able to remember early things in her life, and they're able to verify the things that can be verified. She supposedly believes and has proven to people that she can remember every single day of her life.
What a unique experience.
This is what I did on Monday. This is what I did on Tuesday.
She was born and she was put into a wall, a thing with glass.
Well, no,
like
that's after she came out.
Right.
Yeah.
Like every baby goes in the bassinet with the clear sides.
Yeah.
I looked up and I saw a hospital. Fluorescent lights. It was the weirdest thing.
It does seem to be stupid, right?
Yeah.
How would we verify that? What did you see when you were on the inside? How would you verify that?
It was very dark. It was very dark.
A British man was arrested last week after he stole 17 tubes of Pringles during multiple burglaries and shop thefts. Adam Spencer, when stopped by police, he said, "I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Once you pop, you can't stop." That's true.
Well, you could say it's the company's own fault. They
today
make them so good.
Today is National Egg Day. I believe I'm going to go home today and make some deviled eggs because I didn't get any from Davey's mom.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Whoa.
She's busy. I get it.
She said she was going to make some this week for you.
Okay, cool.
Oh, yeah.
She doesn't have to. I'm just kidding.
No. She promised me.
But I think I'm going to make it with, you ever have Weber's? I believe it's a Western New York thing. Weber's mustard. Yeah, it's really good. It's kind of like what Goulden's used to be, but better. Goulden's was more grainy. This is more yellow, but it's really, really good.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of mustard.
You got to put a little mustard in your deviled eggs. She use yellow mustard in the deviled eggs?
Yes, she does.
Yeah, she does.
I could just see it now. Davey's going to go home. You got to make deviled eggs for Bill. What are you thinking?
No, I'm just kidding. And then the largest search ever for the Loch Ness Monster happened over the weekend. People from all over the world traveled to Scotland to help look for it, and they ended up finding, absolutely nothing.
I think Ness is certainly one of the biggest contributing factors to that. I mean, the Highlands is such a majestic place, but Loch Ness really must sit at the heart of all that, and again, people's fascination with this huge body of water. There's always going to be a fascination with the mysteries surrounding Loch Ness.
Well, always a fascination, but never anything really found. Go figure. Hey, we have news coming up straight ahead on WIBX.
On behalf of IBEW Local 43 Union Electricians and the NECA Contractors, we are pleased to partner with Alfred State University in providing our members with an opportunity to enhance their education at this great university.
Alfred State is proud to strengthen our long history of working with unions to create non-traditional pathways for career advances in the skilled trades.
Central New York's future is bright, and the IBEW Local 43 and NECA will continue to help light, power, and grow Central New York.
The Utica Center for Development wants you to join the City of Utica's Independence Day Parade, sponsored by Mastrovito Hyundai. Register for the parade, have fun, build a float, or just walk and show community support on July 4th. To register for the parade or to be a vendor for the 4th of July party in the park, sign up today at ucdevelopment.org. The City of Utica parades are brought to you by the Utica Center for Development, Mastrovito Hyundai, Bank of Utica, and Save the Day Foundation.
The headlines remind us daily, the world is a dangerous place. The elites in charge say everything's fine, stop noticing. But you know better. And your gut knows that time is short to prepare for a world that is 4 missed meals away from chaos. My Patriot Supply has helped over 3 million families become more self-reliant and is the company Americans trust to prepare. Go to mypatriotsupply.com and secure their best-selling 3-month emergency food kits. Each contain delicious breakfasts, lunches, and dinners, averaging over 2,000 calories per day. Secure at least one food kit for each family member. For a limited time, save $200, plus get free shipping on all their Ready Hour 3-month emergency food kits. You're not ready if it's not Ready Hour Foods. My Patriot Supply also has solar power generators, water filtration units, biomass stoves, heirloom seeds, and critical survival gear. Shop MyPatriotSupply.com today. MyPatriotSupply.com.
From the Stanley Theater Studio, WIBX Utica, Rome, W295EI, WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM, a Town Square media station.
Face Off with Fauci. I'm Chris Foster. Fox News. Dr. Anthony Fauci will be back on Capitol Hill today for a public hearing starting at 10 Eastern about COVID-19, its origins, and the federal government response.
The House subcommittee investigating the COVID-19 pandemic asking Dr. Anthony Fauci to turn over private emails and cell phone records related to the Wuhan Institute of Virology and EcoHealth. Transcripts released Friday from a 2-day closed-door interview show lawmakers pressing the former National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases about the lab leak theory, with Dr. Fauci replying he has a completely open mind that it could be either a lab leak or a natural occurrence, but adding, if you look at the scientific data, I think the probability weighs much more heavily toward it being a natural occurrence. This, part of a probe into the origins of the virus, GOP lawmakers allege has unveiled efforts to evade public transparency. Kristen Goodwin, Fox News.
Jury selection starts today for the president's son Hunter Biden's federal gun trial in Delaware. He's accused of lying about his illegal drug use when he bought a gun he ended up owning for 11 days. He spent this past weekend with his father in Delaware. Police in Akron, Ohio are looking for suspects in the shooting of 25 people, one of them killed, on a street where officers had earlier been called to break up a birthday party of more than 200 people.
They were called back around midnight after reports of gunshots.
We recovered 2 handguns at the scene. Based on the layout of the spent shell casing, it appears consistent with someone driving by shooting out of a car. We believe that some individuals at the party may have returned fire based on physical evidence at the scene.
Akron Police Chief Brian Harding says a 27-year-old male is dead. 2 victims are in critical condition. Kathleen Maloney, Fox News.
Texas House Democrat Sheila Jackson Lee says she's undergoing treatment for pancreatic cancer and will likely be absent from Congress from time to time. America's listening to Fox News.
Well, the weather's warming up and summer's just around the corner. Everyone has a favorite outdoor activity: golf, bike riding, bird watching, long walks. Ask 100 people, you'll get 100 answers. But if everyday aches and pains are keeping you on the sidelines, I have one answer: Relief Factor. Relief Factor is a 100% drug-free daily supplement that helps your body fight pain naturally. Developed by doctors, Relief Factor uses a unique formula of natural ingredients. It doesn't just mask pain, it helps reduce or even eliminate it. Wherever you're hurting, back, neck, joints, or muscles, in 3 weeks or less, you'll start to feel the difference all day, every day. So whatever you like to do, swimming, pickleball, hanging out in the garden, Relief Factor can help you feel good again and let you enjoy all your favorite outdoor activities all summer long. Go to ReliefFactor.com or call 1-800-4-RELIEF and save on your first order. That's 1-800-4-RELIEF. Fight pain naturally with Relief Factor.
Claudia Sheinbaum is elected Mexico's first woman president. She's a climate scientist and former mayor of Mexico City, a political ally of the outgoing president, López Obrador. A boil water advisory for most of Atlanta could be lifted today.
The city of Atlanta says repairs to the water main break at Joseph E. Boone Boulevard and James P. Brawley Drive have been made, but a boil water advisory still remains in effect for parts of the city. Service to water started to cut off Friday for part of the city, and a release from the city states the system is gradually being brought back online to, quote, allow for the rebuilding of system pressures. The city also updated its boil water advisory Saturday to include some parts of Midtown dealing with the break on 11th and West Peachtree. Mayor Andre Dickens apologized for a lack of communication following the breaks.
Mary Smith with Fox 5 Atlanta. 2 police officers are wounded in a shootout with a suspect they'd stopped on a motorized scooter in New York City. The suspect also hospitalized, wounded by return fire. None of the injuries are considered life-threatening. Former President Trump has another outlet on social media on a platform he once pushed to ban as a Chinese national security threat.
Former President Trump becoming an immediate hit on TikTok. He's already amassed 3.4 million followers on the social media platform, built up in a roughly 24-hour period. His debut video posted from the Ultimate Fighting Championship in New Jersey with UFC President Dana White as they greeted supporters.
The president is now on TikTok. It's my honor.
That video already racking up more than 59 million views. President Biden, in contrast, on TikTok has just over 343,000 followers. Sue Guzman, Fox News.
It'll be the Edmonton Oilers and Florida Panthers playing for hockey's Stanley Cup. The Oilers beat Dallas 2-1 to win their Western Conference Final Series 4-2. Florida eliminated the New York Rangers Saturday night. The Panthers lost in the final last year to Las Vegas. They've never won a Stanley Cup. Edmonton last won in 1990. I'm Chris Foster, Fox News.
Good morning, WIBX 950 News Time, 7:05. I'm Andrew Derminio. 60 degrees under partly cloudy skies. We're going to be up into the lower to mid 80s today. Your full weather forecast is coming up. This update brought to you by the new Destination Kia of Utica on Commercial Drive in Yorkville. Syracuse police are continuing their investigation into a shooting that left a man dead. Officers went to the area of South Salina Street and Dr. Martin Luther West Saturday after receiving a report of gunfire. They later found out a 31-year-old man had been taken by car to Krause Hospital. The man, whose name has not been released, was not able to be saved. Witnesses are asked to contact police at 315-442-5222. Members of the public are getting another chance to weigh in on Micron Technology's plan to create chip-making plants in clay. The U.S. Army Corps of Engineers has launched a survey, and the deadline for comments is July 1st. Micron wants to construct at least 4 plants at the White Pine Commerce Park that would create thousands of jobs in the area. Anyone who wants to have their voice heard can send a letter to the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers Buffalo District Office in Auburn. Lawmakers will be back at the state capitol today as the final week of this year's legislative session begins. There's expected to be debate on several issues, including ways to combat climate change. Also, Governor Hochul's push to limit the harmful impacts of social media on children. The governor says that's the only thing she's asking for to be addressed and passed in the coming days. The Senate and Assembly are expected to leave Albany after Thursday. The State Department of Ag and Markets is issuing a warning about elevated lead levels found in products sold across the Empire State. The products are Badia ground cinnamon and Badia ground ginger. The cinnamon comes in 2-ounce bottles and the ginger is in 1.5-ounce bottles. Exposure to high lead levels can cause health issues like kidney damage and developmental disorders. No illnesses have been reported, and anyone who has these products should throw them out. And China's new lunar probe has successfully landed on the moon. On Saturday, the probe touched down on the dark side of the moon, where it will begin collecting samples from the surface. The unmanned mission hopes to return the samples to Earth in the next few months. China plans to send astronauts to the moon by 2030 to start building a research base at its south pole. That's reassuring. WIBX 950 News Time is 7:08. Your weather forecast is brought to you by Adirondack Home Furniture. For today, we can expect mostly sunny skies, high in the mid-80s. We'll see clear skies overnight with a low around 60. Then tomorrow, a slight chance of rain, maybe a thunderstorm, otherwise mostly sunny skies with a high in the mid to upper 80s. Right now, we're at 60 degrees under partly cloudy skies. WIBX 950 News Time is 7:08. Sports brought to you by IBEW NECA 43 local contractors. Well, it was a good run, but unfortunately it's come to an end as the Rangers close out their season, falling to the Florida Panthers 2-1 in Game 6 of the Eastern Conference Finals. The Blue Shirts became the first President's Trophy winners to advance to the conference finals since New York finished with the most points in the regular season before the 2015 playoffs. The Rangers have 8 players who are either unrestricted free agents or restricted free agents this summer. So it will be a tough hill to climb for them to get back into a position they were in this year. Meanwhile, the Edmonton Oilers defeated the Dallas Stars 2-1 to win the Western Conference Finals Series 4-2. They will take on the Florida Panthers. So it's Edmonton and Florida. Like a little Canada versus U.S. action for the NHL Finals. The Giants are expecting to be without a member of their starting rotation for the foreseeable future. San Francisco right-hander Blake Snell departed Sunday's game against the Yankees due to tightness in his left groin. Snell was in the middle of an at-bat during the fifth inning before leaving the game after feeling discomfort. That led Alex Verdugo to hit a game-tying double at the time with Soto and Giancarlo Stanton at second and third. And so the Yankees did advance their honor as the best record in baseball, not just the American League, but they have the best record in baseball right now. They're leading the AL East, of course, at 42-19. They got the sweep over the Giants, 7-5, the final yesterday in San Francisco. The Diamondbacks split their four-game series with the Mets after earning a come-from-behind 5-4 win at Citi Field. New York is fourth in the NL East at 24-35. They'll visit the Washington Nationals for a three-game series that begins tonight. WIBX 950 news time is 7:10. I want to let you know if you're dealing with severe pain and it is debilitating, and in most cases, chronic pain is. You wake up with it, you go to bed with it, you can't escape it. Well, you should try Revive Softwave Therapy on Genesee Street in Utica. I used them for a minor injury I had to my foot and ankle area after a half marathon. Yes, I ran a half marathon earlier this year. And after about 6 to 7 treatments, my pain went from an 8 to a 0. It is a device that was developed in Germany that uses high-speed sound waves to direct blood flow and your body's natural stem cells to the impacted area. You can actually feel it working. And if you mention the Keeler Show, they'll give you a sweet discount, part of Discovery Days, and that initial consultation will get you a softwave therapy treatment, a treatment and recovery plan, and assessment. So give them a call, 315-725-8427, 315-725-8427, and you can get all the information you need if you want to dig in a little deeper. You can see videos of how the treatment is conducted and see some testimonials, including one by Rob Esch of the Utica Comets, who is a patient of Revive Softwave Therapy. Check it out, reviveutica.com. That's reviveutica.com. Let the healing begin with Revive Softwave Therapy on Genesee Street.
Andrew, we have Farmer Ben coming in. We're going to speak with today.
Yes,
Kicks
very
off.
excited.
It kicks off Dairy Month, and it's a big part of this. That's a big part of this area. There's no doubt about it. And she ran for mayor. She was a council person. Recently put out a newsletter on Pride Month and Mayor Galimi, and it was quite critical. And I'm not sure it's completely fair. We'll speak with Celeste Friend coming up in just a few minutes here. And, of course, Hobica's free money question of the day. Davey, we had a couple of huge winners to close out May. Hobica growling. What amount of money are we giving away potentially today? What are you looking at?
$200.
He's not holding back.
$200.
$200 on the line here. Can you be our third winner in a row, basically? Oh, I guess we only had one winner. You had $350 Friday, but we didn't get a winner.
Right.
Is that what happened?
Right.
Yeah, you're right.
We do have some comments as well.
All right, quickly get into those, and then I'll break.
Dick in Deerfield, severe lead exposure could cause severe symptoms, even death in an adult. As for spices,
yeah, it can be good.
Unscrupulous exporters have been known to adulterate bulk products. They sell by weight to inflate their value.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah. He also says only about 60 people have been diagnosed with hyperthymesia worldwide. While their memories are reported as vivid, they are not exact recordings of all experiences. They don't remember every single day in detail.
And I understand that they do, and there's some scientific backing for this, but it does seem like a kid will tell a story. You'll remember something from your childhood, but sometimes those stories actually come from stories that were told when you were younger about what you did back then.
Correct.
And you remember things that way. It's kind of like a created memory. But I guess not with this. They've been able to prove that these people really do have this amazing talent.
Yeah. And Big Honey in Hecla, who's very talented, says, Andrew...
Very talented. He's a very talented guy.
Says, Andrew, experts say if we were able to use only 50% of our brain, we would remember every second of our lives, including birth.
Well, this woman says she remembers it. Didn't hurt me, but my mother was screaming like crazy. We'll break and come back here at WIBX.
The Potting Shed Antiques in Whitesboro is buying silver, gold-filled, vintage costume, estate jewelry, and U.S. and Canadian coins. They've been your hometown buyer for the past 52 years. While other gold and silver buyers claim to offer the highest prices, the Potting Shed Antiques actually delivers. Let Don Hartman take a look at your individual pieces or your entire collection. The Potting Shed Antiques, open Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturdays. Please call ahead for an appointment. Visit thepottingshedantique.com.
The Utica Center for Development wants you to join the city of Utica's Independence Day Parade, sponsored by Mastrovito Hyundai. Register for the parade, have fun, build a float, or just walk and show community support on July 4th. To register for the parade or to be a vendor for the 4th of July party in the park, sign up today at ucdevelopment.org. The City of Utica parades are brought to you by the Utica Center for Development, Mastrovito Hyundai, Bank of Utica, and Save the Day Foundation.
Rodney Atkins, June 20th, 7:30 p.m. at the Stanley Theater. Get your tickets now at the Stanley Theater box office or online at thestanley.org.
Thinking of a purple mattress this Memorial Day? Mattress Express has the largest selection and save up to $800 on select purple sets. Take up to 60 months to pay with no money down for qualified buyers on $1,500 or higher purchases.
The doctor's office that mixed up your files has your Social Security number. The power company that mistakenly cut your service has your payment info and last 3 addresses. Your info is in endless places that could accidentally expose your info to identity theft. That's why LifeLock monitors millions of data points every second. If your identity's stolen, they'll fix it guaranteed or your money back. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code CLAY at LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
Get ready for this week's half-off Thursday deal with SeizeTheDeal.com. Score your half-off gift certificate to Edible Arrangements. This Thursday morning, starting at 8, get $50 for $25 with Seize the Deal's half-off Thursday. Edible Arrangements has gifts for all occasions. Birthdays, anniversaries, no matter what the occasion, Edible Arrangements has you covered. Don't forget their delicious smoothies and dipped fruit. 2 great locations, Black River Boulevard in Rome and in the Orchard in New Hartford. Get your half-off Thursday gift certificates this Thursday from Edible Arrangements. Hurry, they sell out fast at SeizeTheDeal.com.
Ready to hit the road with confidence this summer? Look no further than Tallman's Tire and Auto Repair, your one-stop shop for top quality tires at unbeatable prices. At Tallman's Tire and Auto Repair, we believe that safety and savings go hand in hand. That's why we offer the best prices up front on top brands including Summit, Nokia, Bridgestone, and more. With Tallman's Tire and Auto Repair, you'll drive away with peace of mind and money in your pocket. Locations in Utica, Yorkville, Rome, and Herkimer, and online at tallmanstire.com.
We used to argue about whose turn it was to clean the gutters, but then I had Leaf Filter gutter protection installed.
Wait, I told you Leaf Filter had free inspections and estimates and a lifetime guarantee.
Meaning we never have to argue about whose turn it is to clean the gutters again.
But I visited leaffilter.com/triumph first.
No, I did.
It doesn't matter who. Visit leaffilter.com/triumph to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off today.
See representative for warranty details. Promotion is 20% off plus a 10% senior or military discount. 1 discount per household.
WIBX. This is Keeler. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now back to the Keeler Show.
Okay, good morning. Good morning. It's the first Monday of June. Here we go. Today is the 3rd, right?
Wow.
Is it the 3rd?
Today is
the
the
31st was Friday. So, in studio right now is Ben Simons. Ben is you're currently a farmer, but you are like you're an ambassador for farming in the community, I feel.
Yep. Yeah, it's kind of an unfounded thing. We started. I was past County Farm Bureau president.
Yeah, yeah.
And we try to get out, the mission of agriculture, not only produce the food, but also educate the people of how good, nutritious that farm food is, real food from the farm.
Yeah.
Instead of all this manufactured and highly processed food. And so I just started out just doing a few little spots here and there with different people. And then one day, my friend, your friend, the county sheriff, was on a radio show, and they were asking him a lot of questions about agriculture in the county because, as you know, he is a beef farmer.
Said, you got to talk to Ben.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And he said, you need to get Ben Simons down here. And next thing you know, Ben Simons is on the media. And then the next thing, somebody called me Farmer Ben one time, and it's just evolved. Yeah. And so now I'm very grateful to you, Bill, and Adam, and Davey for contacting me and allowing me to be the voice of agriculture here. But I guess I would label myself as more of an advocate. I'm out there trying to educate. I'm still a Farm Bureau member, very involved in every aspect of Oneida County agriculture, either in the past or currently. I've been through the gamut, top to bottom, every county agricultural agency, cooperative extension, soil and water, 27 years. So now I'm slowing down. I'm 63 years old. I'm not running as fast, but I'm out advocating for agriculture, not only in Oneida County, but Oneida, Lewis, Herkimer.
Nice.
So, yeah.
And this is, by the way, do you remember Ed Sluzarczyk?
I do. I was a pallbearer at his funeral.
You were, yeah.
And
did I ever tell you the story the first time that I had started working at, Andrew, you might remember this story. I might have told it more than once. But I was working at WTLB. I was still in high school, and I got a job at WTLB. So at that point, I was working at 3 different local stations trying to find who was ever going to let me talk the most. And it wasn't
the airtime.
It wasn't TLB at the time. So anyway, my job was to play. I had to be there at 5 in the morning. I had to play all the programs. And on Saturday and Sunday mornings, Ed Sluzarczyk's show, I believe this was Sunday mornings that I was working there, Ed's show was recorded.
Mm-hmm.
So I started it up and then went on to the next station because I was running Casey Kasem on WTLB, and there were all sorts of things that you had to do. And then I get a call from the general manager who said, just to let you know, Ed Sluzarczyk's show is a 30-minute program, but it's going to be done in 15 minutes because you're playing it on high speed. And I had no idea.
Oh boy.
No, I also want to contribute. I do believe by my friendship. Yeah, my friendship with Ed Sluzarczyk definitely rubbed off on me to where I am today.
Mm-hmm.
And now his daughter and his son-in-law are carrying on the Ag Radio News Network. Up there out of Holland Patton area.
Mm-hmm.
And there's another fellow, I just want to throw a name out, that really had a big influence on me being able to come and speak publicly to you and do tractor pulls and announcing for tractors and truck pulls at different county fairs, is another fellow from North Country named Kenny Youngs up in Boonville.
Oh, that's a name that if you've been to the county fairs, you would know that name.
Yep. Yeah. So those 2 men, I really want to contribute. Yeah. And so,
very nice.
But so, June is Dairy Month.
June is Dairy Month, and you brought in some
liquid treats.
I brought in some cream line milk from Stolfus's out there in Vernon Center. They make all sorts of array of different dairy products out there. They make milk, they make lattes, they make yogurt, smoothies. I love their smoothies. And so I try to promote different farms that bottle their own milk. There's one up in northern just over the Oneida County line into Lewis County called Black River Natural.
Okay.
But they also buy a lot of their raw milk from farms in Oneida County, and they process it. And so when people see that I bring around Lewis County company name, but really the milk generated from that, a lot of it comes from Oneida County.
Okay. Either way, it's still, it's upstate
It's
New
good
York.
to support the region.
Yeah.
I just want to also have a throw out. The milk that is produced at the Boonville and Oneida County Fair every year is sold, donated to Black River Natural Dairies up there in Lewis County, and then they give us a credit. And so at the Boonville Fair, when you go to the fair and you want to buy some fresh milk there, you can buy it from the Dairy Princess part. That's Oneida County milk too. But also you can buy milk that was basically traded from the Boonville
okay.
Oneida County Fair
That's
with
really
Black River
cool.
Naturals.
Nice.
So that's what we do. So
I have a question on something we just talked about with Ed Sluzarczyk.
Yes.
Mike is asking, do Ed's kids still have Bossy the Cow and Cockadoodle Dooski? If you remember, I remember in his desk, it was famous. It was that you'd turn it over and it would go, it would move.
I would imagine that Holly Cassidy and Tom Cassidy probably still have it because they carried on.
They used to be, Ed used to be a huge fan of our comedy club and would bring like a table for everybody, his whole family, bring everybody to the, he liked to laugh.
He was quite a character.
Yeah. Okay. So Dairy Month it's important to understand that it's a huge part of our economics in upstate New York still today.
It is.
And then you add the yogurt, the
Chobani that came
Greek
in
yogurt,
big.
and you add that in, and boy, we are really producing up here.
We live in a very rich dairy part of the country here. People don't realize it, but you get away from here.
Yeah.
You don't see the farms that you have here in central New York that are mixed in. There's less and less dairy farms right now. There's around 180 or so dairy farms left in Oneida County, but there's still 18,000. Remember this. There is still 18,001 cows in Oneida County.
Wow.
And that one cow is Annabelle. And she was purchased by the Oneida County Farm Bureau, and all agricultural events pertaining like to the fairs and dairy and different things, Annabelle arrives. And so we always tell everybody there's 18,001 dairy cows in Oneida County.
All right. So
they make about 41 million gallons of milk a year right here in Oneida County.
Wow, that's awesome.
And is it Oneida that has the Hood plant?
Yes.
How do they get their milk locally?
Yes, they do. They source their milk locally right out there in Sherrill, Vernon, Verona, Sherrill. There's 2 plants.
So very close.
They're very close. And then Hood is very local. And then you have Byrne Dairy, which is Syracuse.
Yep.
A lot of their milk comes from Oneida County. And then you have Stewart's. Now, Stewart's has a cluster of 100 farms out by Saratoga, okay? But every now and again, Stewart's will need extra milk. And I'm very proud to say, as a member of the Boonville Farmers Co-op, which is a cluster of us farmers up around Boonville area, northern Oneida County, we do sell them milk occasionally to Stewart's when they run short of their own supply. So when anybody says that Stewart's has the #1 tasting milk, flavored milk, Ben Simons can stick his hand up and say, us farmers at Boonville supply them milk too.
Playing a big role. Okay. And then we've seen a big turn in the weather. Has that improved your growing season? I'm assuming
very much so.
Has,
Since I was last in, we were talking about cold, wet May, barn full of hay.
Terrible.
Yeah.
Well, and then we had to stop planting corn because it was just so wet. The ground would not take the seed. It was just so damp and so cold. So the farmers transitioned quickly right into harvesting their hay. And my neighbor down the road is telling me, the Findale farm, they've just finished their first cutting. They're telling me that the hay harvest was so heavy, there's as much feed in their bunk silo today with one cutting, first cutting, as there was the first and second cutting of last year.
Wow.
So the myth of a cold, wet May, barn full of hay, comes true.
It is. Basically, the weeds were growing like crazy.
Everything was growing. But now, this past week, with this week of good weather we've had, everybody's finished the hay, ran back, and they're planting their corn and their soybeans. And people are just finishing that up right now.
When are we going to smell that horrible liquid manure?
You know, Bill, you brought that up, and I brought a fella in from out in the Midwest that has a perfume, anaerobic digester type business to change the molecular structure of the manure. And I confronted Cooperative Extension with it, but for some reason, I don't understand why, the farmers just didn't grab on to it.
They're like, you're going to have to deal with it.
I think it's new technology, and people are a little bit scared because fertilizer is so expensive.
Yeah.
They don't want to change anything with the manure that might interrupt the process of fertilizing their crops. I do believe that's what happened. But since my radio shows with you and putting it out publicly, I can tell you that the farmers are doing a better job of incorporating the manure. Technology's come a lot further. But I guess us farmers didn't realize, we knew it was a problem, the odor. We get the phone calls.
Yes.
But until you go public, like on your radio show here, I guess the farmers just didn't realize.
Yeah.
And I've had a lot of compliments from different people in the non-farm community that heard me on your show say, when you do a party, invite the farmer.
That's a great idea.
And I've gotten a lot of compliments
Well,
from
it'd be
that.
nice
So
if you're
thank
inviting.
you,
It would be
Bill.
nice if you're inviting the farmer anyway. That you
Yes,
have a
your
good
neighbor.
relationship.
Yeah. He's such a large part of the
she's
community.
Your neighbor.
The farmer is.
So, we really learned last year when we saw the smoke blowing and bellowing from the Canadian
Canada,
wildfires.
We're a little worried
How-
because they've put the word out, haven't they, Bill?
Yeah.
That there's those wildfires in Canada.
They're
and
still going on right now.
We don't need another summer
No.
of that filtered sunlight.
That was terrible.
It was. It hurt
Yeah.
our feed quality,
Yeah.
the protein.
Remember,
and all.
everything was just so yellow.
Yeah.
And your car would be covered by it. Not the pollen yellow. This year's pollen
totally different.
has been pretty
Yeah.
bad.
So we're a little worried. We're concerned. They've put the word out that
Okay.
these fires are still up there, but we're hoping they.
Yeah, but it shows you how far something can drift, the smell,
Correct.
because there was an odor with that as well. So you can imagine, if something's being spread, this liquid manure is being spread in Sequoit, you might be smelling it in parts of New Hartford and Whitesboro.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
It really
Yeah.
does. I have a neighbor there that has a large farm up there in Steuben. And they spread liquid manure, and I'm 2-3 miles away.
You smell it.
And I can get a little whiff of it. So it does carry.
Yeah.
But I can tell you that I am very proud of the farmers in Oneida County, how they have really evolved technology and this public that you do here, Bill, putting the word out. So I want to thank
All
you
right.
and my farmers in Oneida County.
we
On behalf of
wanna-
the dairy farmers,
We
thank
want
you.
to thank you for the milk you brought in today. It's really nice.
That's a gift from Farmer
Yeah.
Ben and the dairy farmers of Oneida County. And
Love it.
We thank you for the PSAs you do.
All right, good
Thank you.
stuff. Dairy Month, a lot of celebration going on this month.
Yep, and get
All
right
right.
out and enjoy your farmers markets.
All right, yes, that's a great place to stock up with some really, really good stuff.
Yep,
So,
you want to buy local, buy your Hood, your Stewart, your Burns.
Ben Simons, thank you.
Thank you.
Coming up, we'll do our free money question of the day. It this morning is worth $200 from Hobica, the Hobica law firm, and she put out a newsletter. I'm not sure it was fair when it comes to Mayor Galimi. We're talking about Celeste Friend. She's coming in a few minutes here on WIBX.
WIBX. This is Keeler.
Scott and Jill here from New York Sash. Whenever you hear someone say they run a locally owned family business, you probably say, so what? Big deal.
Well, it is actually a big deal to us because we're from right here in Whitesboro, and you've seen us on TV for years. And our showroom, it's over on Oriskany Boulevard, right past the New York Thruway.
I mean, think about it. We have to treat our customers right because we're going to see you down at Hannaford when we're buying green beans.
Or over at Burn Dairy pumping gas. We prefer to run into happy customers who love us, who smile, because we've done everything in our power to install windows, doors, and their bathrooms right.
So yeah, we're a local family-owned business, 11 family members in all, and we are proud to treat our local customers like family too.
Call New York Sash now and get 15% off windows, doors, or bathrooms. 315-624-7344 or online at newyorksash.com.
The doctor's office that mixed up your files has your Social Security number. The power company that mistakenly cut your service has your payment info and last 3 addresses. Your info is in endless places that could accidentally expose your info to identity theft. That's why LifeLock monitors millions of data points every second. If your identity's stolen, they'll fix it guaranteed or your money back. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code CLAY at lifelock.com. Terms apply.
For a lasting impression, trust the quality and craftsmanship of Humphrey Memorials. They're experienced in all facets of memorial design, sales of monuments and mausoleums, on-site cemetery lettering, cleaning and restoration, and specialty services like etched glassware, mirrors, and landscape products. Humphrey Memorials of Herkimer has been making a lasting impression in central New York since 1946. They also handle commercial construction projects as well. Find out more at humphrey memorials.com or call 866-4471.
Memorial Day savings at Adirondack Home Furniture is here, and that means time to upgrade for summer. For a limited time, Adirondack Home Furniture is offering 2 years interest-free financing. They're overstocked in every department and need to make room for new pieces. Upgrade to a new sofa, dining set, bedroom set, outdoor poly furniture, and more. Adirondack Home Furniture has a large line of quality, USA-made furniture from top manufacturers. You'll find something for every room, inside and out. From modern to farmhouse, rustic to transitional, with 2 years interest-free financing, free local delivery, and a professional, knowledgeable staff, you'll have your dream home in no time. Plus, their salespeople are non-commissioned, so you'll enjoy a relaxing, no-pressure experience. Celebrate Memorial Day and save big at Adirondack Home Furniture's 2 years interest-free event. Stop in today, Adirondack Home Furniture, Riverside Center in North Utica, or at AdirondackHomeFurniture.com.
Now's the time to get a great deal on select Kubota compact tractors. The Kubota L Series is the #1 selling compact tractor in the U.S. Right now at participating dealers, get a Kubota compact tractor for 0 down 0% APR. For up to 60 months plus, save up to $2,300 on select equipment. Now through June 30th, see us or go to KubotaUSA.com/disclaimers for full disclaimer. Visit us at WhitesFarmSupply.com.
White's Farm Supply.
Ready to hit the road with confidence this summer? Look no further than Tallman's Tire and Auto Repair, your one-stop shop for top quality tires at unbeatable prices. At Tallman's Tire and Auto Repair, we believe that safety and savings go hand in hand. That's why we offer the best prices up front on top brands including Summit, Nokia, Bridgestone, and more. With Tallman's Tire and Auto Repair, you'll drive away with peace of mind and money in your pocket. Locations in Utica, Yorkville, Rome, and Herkimer, and online at tallmanstire.com.
You want to recycle, but you're not sure what's recyclable, what goes in your weekly recycling bin, or what goes in the trash. Wheelock Disposal Service, your recycling experts, wants to give you some helpful tips in determining what waste goes where. You know what to do with the boxes and various packaging, but what about its content? For tissues, paper towels, napkins, wax paper, paper cups, and plates, they all go in your regular trash container. For more information, go to wheelockdisposal.com, your recycling experts.
Hi, this is Rob Hilton of Hilton Estate and Elder Law with important information for families that have disabled children to protect the child and to ensure your future wishes are met. So if you have a disabled child, you need to provide them with what's called a special needs trust. This trust allows them to receive an inheritance from you, but also allows them to keep any governmental benefits that they are receiving. It is critically important that if they have an inheritance coming, that they not lose their benefits. Unmarried couples should be aware of important steps they need to take with their estate planning. If a partner dies and does not leave a will, the surviving partner will not likely receive any of the assets from the deceased partner. This can create a lot of problems in the future and must be resolved utilizing a will or a trust. To find out more about strategies to protect your loved ones through proper estate planning, contact us at Hilton Estate and Elder Law. Call for more information and to schedule an in-person meeting to answer your questions.
Hilton, you know the name, they know the law. Hilton Estate and Elder Law.
WIBX. This is Keeler. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now back to the Keeler Show.
You know what I forgot to do, Davey, is call for a caller. So, Hawaika's free money question of the day. It's worth $200 in cash. We're looking for caller number 3 right now. Right now. 3, caller 3. Your chance to win. 315-736-0186.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4. Shut your mouth and say no more. Yeah!
Oh, I say that to a lot of people.
All right, enough of that. Coming up, we'll speak with Celeste Friend in a few minutes. She's written a very critical newsletter that is critical of the current mayor, Mike Galimi, on this whole gay pride flag issue in Utica, and we'll get to that coming up in a little bit. Davey's looking for our third caller. It's worth $200 today.
Oh, yeah.
And Davey, what do you have? Who do you have? Where do you have him?
Steve from Holland Patton on 4.
Has Steve ever played before?
Steve from Holland Patton on 4.
Has Steve ever played before?
Has Steve ever
I don't know.
played
I don't
before?
know. I can hear you.
No, he doesn't know everything. The hell's wrong with you?
Oh, my gosh.
Steven, good morning. Thanks for coming on.
Hey, thanks, Bill. Yeah, I played about a year ago or so.
Okay, all right. This is for you. Maybe today's the day. Maybe today is the day that you walk away a big winner. I hope it is. Okay, here we go. And it comes from the category, we've talked about this.
Ooh, okay.
From the category, we've talked about this. Are you ready, Stephen? You know you have 7 seconds. One answer.
Ready.
And here we go. Britt Hans Sloan is credited with introducing this somewhere around 1690. What is it? Ready, go.
Printing press.
The printing press.
Ooh. I'm going to guess it's something to do with...
You're going to be dead on this, I can guarantee you. But go ahead.
With dairy, the milker.
Yeah, it is. He introduced Hans Sloane in somewhere in the 17th century, and in I believe London, introduced chocolate milk to the world.
Oh.
Chocolate milk was his thing, and I believe it was done as kind of more of a pharmaceutical thing at the time. I don't know.
Yeah, they say chocolate milk's good for your stomach or
whatever.
Hangover.
Yeah. It's good. It's just good, right?
Yeah.
You used to
Okay.
drink that in school, right?
I loved it in school, and you know what it does for a lot of kids is it gets them to drink the milk which they should be drinking. Okay.
Yeah.
At least we've always been taught that, and I believe that's true. So here's what I'm going to give you. I have the all-in-one food and fun card. It's $25 gift card, good at any of Aquavino, Taylor and the Cook, Babes. And of course, Babes open every single day, and they have a beautiful brunch on Sundays. You can take advantage of that. And of course, at any of the Comets games, $25 gift card. But also, we have these retro WIBX T-shirts that are very cool. We'll give you one of the T-shirts as well. So you walk away a double winner this morning.
Thanks.
All right, stand by. Davey's going to take care of you there.
So,
Davey, you've got him.
I do like chocolate milk. Mine is in the fridge, waiting for me to consume it post-show, since we can't have it in the studio here. Big Honey asking the question as Farmer Ben was leaving, and I apologize I missed it, but can you ask the farmer how he feels about the government buying up a lot of good farmland for solar? Great money for the struggling farmer, but bad for the country. And Farmer Ben said in the break, ooh, he's hot about that. So we will have him back on next week to discuss that.
It's a big deal. A lot of people are fighting it, but it's hard for the farmers, especially if they have land that is not overly valuable, when somebody comes in to say, hey, we're going to pay you this much during a 25-year lease.
Okay.
It's kind of hard to say no to that, I would think.
Right.
I would think. All right, the latest thing to go down for Mayor Galimi in Utica is this issue of the flags flying over City Hall. And the decision was recently made that only a flag from a country,
a nation of origin, yes,
would be considered to fly over City Hall. And recently, Celeste Friend wrote a piece on this and was very, very critical. In fact, said, shame on Mayor Galimi, shame on Utica for letting down the people, the gay people. Did I say that right? Is that inappropriate?
I think
to say
LGBTQ community.
Okay, there we go. And Celeste Friend is on the line right now. Celeste, good morning. Good morning.
Good morning, Bill. Good morning, Bill. I want to be super clear about something, though. I actually never even mentioned Michael Galimi's name, so I certainly didn't say shame on Michael. But I do think it's a shame, and I think that the very point of the pride flag is to allow people to be not ashamed of who they are, and I think we are in a shameful position to deny that.
Here's the and I don't necessarily agree with that, and I'll tell you why. Because One of the problems that you have, and to me, when you look at the case in Boston, this makes all the sense in the world. There are still communities and cities that are flying flags. You make your request.
Sure.
They accept or deny. The problem you have there, to me, is a legal problem, and that is, who do you get to say no to? If you're,
well, that the city of Boston, I read that Supreme Court case. And so the city of Boston was sued when they denied access to one group for flying their flag. They were sued. They lost the suit at the Supreme Court. But the Supreme Court then instructed them on what they needed to do in order to appropriately go ahead and fly some flags and not others. The city of Boston did that. And the city of Boston is completely now in good standing with the Supreme Court decision, and they are flying the pride flag.
Do you think, though, that
it's a real misinterpretation of that Supreme Court reading to think that decision, to read it as saying, oh, yeah, cities can't fly flags.
Do you feel, though, that this is an attack on LGBTQ people in Utica?
Well, first of all, I think I don't think not flying the flag is necessarily an attack, but I do think that the LGBTQ community has been treated really shabbily through this process. We have a pride association. They have a head, the founder, Ace Moriali, and she has not been treated very well by the administration through this process. So that's one thing.
What was the name of the person? What's the name of the person? Because I'd like to hear from her.
Her name is Ace Moriali.
Ace Moriali.
Okay. Because we were told that there was a meeting scheduled and there were information or possible misinformation that was put out prior to that meeting.
Personally, I do think that the city probably should have gotten out in front of this, should have had a meeting for everybody to say, here's what our policy is going forward. And I think that would, right. and I think that was a mistake.
I think meetings like that in general would be terrific.
Yeah.
And I think that that's what transparency requires. You have big meetings. You hear from lots of people. It means you're going to hear from people who don't agree with you, who don't understand the issue in the same way you do. But I think in a democracy, that's exactly how you have to proceed. I completely agree. But what happened was that Ace applied to have the flag raised in February. She started checking in regularly and was put off and put off and put off. The mayor's thinking about it. The mayor's thinking about it. Eventually, she had to go to City Hall, sit in the lobby, and say, I'm not leaving until I can get an answer to this question. So, and that alone took months. And his answer was, no, we're not going to raise your flag. And then he's taken other meetings with other people since then and not included her. And she's the founder of the Oneida County Pride Association. And I just think all of that is the wrong way to proceed.
All right.
But, go and look at the comments from the public about raising flags, and you'll see, unfortunately, we still live in a place and in a country where there's a great deal of bigotry, and people are expected to be ashamed of themselves, and people still suffer from that. And if we could do a little bit to balance that out by raising a flag and telling people this is a safe and welcoming community, and it doesn't cost us anything, and it's not illegal, and the Supreme Court has made it very clear how you can proceed with that in a legal way, why wouldn't we do that?
I do fear the current policy is probably going to need to be changed. It's going to need changing anyway, because if it's only a state flag, we only allow state flags. So countries, nations, official nations. The problem is there could be people wanting to raise a flag of a country that is an enemy of the nation.
Correct.
And how do we say no to that if the rule is any country, right?
The Karen people raised and actually the Supreme Court ruling on this gives actually excellent guidance, how you would go about crafting a policy about which flags you fly and which you don't. And it gave really excellent guidance. Boston immediately took them up on that and crafted a new policy. They don't have to fly all flags in Boston anymore. They are flying the pride flag, and they're doing so in complete consistency with the recent Supreme Court ruling. So we know how to do this. But you refer to this policy. I don't know what it is. I haven't seen it. Have you seen a written policy available?
It was released. I thought
we only had
said it was released.
The mayor in telling us this is what the policy is now.
Right. So, but I
don't
think,
normally when a mayor comes in and says, "Here's what we're doing," I don't say, "Show me the paperwork." So
But I think transparency would mean that we should all be able to, if this is a policy, write it down, put it on the website, let us all know what the policy is. And that's not how they're proceeding.
So I'm looking at the Oneida County Pride Association Facebook page. They do include the City Hall lit up in the Pride colors. Does that mean that Ace and the mayor have had some resolution as far as...
Absolutely not. He didn't include Ace in that decision in any way. He had a private conversation with people he already knows, and they came to that idea of lighting up City Hall, which is, hey, great, I think do it. But it didn't. Ace was completely cut out of that conversation, despite the fact that she's the person who asked for the flag to be raised.
Okay.
She's the person who had to insist on a meeting with the mayor. And then when he decided to have a meeting with other people about lighting up City Hall, he didn't include her.
All right, so I would like to talk to her and instead of getting it secondhand. So we'll work.
Talking to her right now.
Let me get hold of her, and if she gives permission, I will send her contact to you.
Do it to give it to Andrew.
I'm talking to her right now. So thank you.
Okay,
Yep.
good. Okay, now
well, there you go.
I did want to ask you about the. Oh, actually, Wayne has a question. Wayne, I'm going to get to you. I won't forget. And Celeste, I did want to ask you about the Franklin Square. Somehow, I wrote a story on Friday, which is an opinion piece. I just think that whole area down there, that alleyway, looks awful. Number one,
I think it's such an enormous improvement over what it looked like before.
Right. I guess it's difference in taste. But it's shoddy looking. SHODDY.
Yeah.
Right.
Is that two D's? Anyway, I just think it looks like it belongs
in a nursery school,
Mississippi, somewhere in a white trash
so mean
area.
to Mississippi, yeah. I think
it
it's a big
doesn't
improvement
fit
over what we had before.
It does
like
not.
you say.
It does not
Maybe
fit.
that's a matter of taste, but there are lights now. There were no lights before.
There were lights. There were light poles through there. There were nice, beautiful, lamps.
The old lamps.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And there were trees, and it fit the decor.
There were trees?
It did. There were, and it fit the decor of like Hotel Utica in that area. And imagine placing this ridiculousness flat smack dab in the middle of Boston. I mean, people would be up in arms. They'd start putting tea back in the water. It would be awful. So I'm only saying. Listen, what I'm saying to you is, when have I said no to you coming on the air and giving your take on something and respectfully? And the same thing with Katie. For this to be turned in by Bobby Hasbun, to be turned into an attack
Bobby
on
who? Bobby. I haven't been following this. I was on a town last week at a Rolling Stone show. So I'm not.
Oh, you did see that.
Nice.
How
was it? The Stones.
How was the show? It had to be. I heard that Mick Jagger was running around like he's 35 years old.
Oh my God! I wish I had that man's stamina and
the drugs that he uses to be able to.
No, I heard he goes running every day, eats really well. He was fabulous, and they were fabulous.
It's incredible what he's able to accomplish. There's no doubt. All right, so with that said, do you agree that I'm not personally attacking Katie Aiello, and we've given her even through the residency thing. There was an open door for her to come in here and speak without us ridiculing or making a fool of her, just as we did with you, I believe, and to imply that this is some personal attack. The only thing it has to do with her is it was her $200,000. I just think it looks terrible.
And I don't think it used all the $200,000.
I'm sure it's not. But do you agree we give a fair shake here?
You've given a fair shake to me. I'm not going to weigh in on whether you've given a fair shake to everybody because I'd have to sit down and listen to all those stories.
Trust me, Celeste.
So.
I have. Probably more.
We reached out to Katie several times on Friday. So.
Anyway, she's going to come on Friday, and it is what it is. But you're right. One person's taste is another person's.
Other taste.
Distaste, I guess.
But we
Tasteless.
all there are. I think that alley is still a work in progress. There are lots of good ideas about what else we could do there. People talked about a mural that would have the history of the Erie Canal because it's so close to the canal route. Frank DeBrango during the primary had a terrific idea, which was to once a week invite various food vendors down for like a 3-hour. You have a little live music, you have some tables and chairs, and different area restaurants could come down.
It'd be nice.
And
right after we get that green out of there, it'll be perfect.
it would be. But I think that you should see it as a work in progress. I think it's a whole lot better looking than what was there before, which was kind of nothing at all.
I disagree. I loved what it looked like. Yeah, I mean, you had chipping
You could have
paint.
restored
It needed to be
what
restored.
happened
There's no doubt.
Yeah.
Listen, I do have a couple comments, and then I have somebody. Oh, Wayne, I lost you. Darn it.
There is a question about the
Here's
Eastwood
a question.
Island.
Celeste has to be happy about Franklin Square. It actually makes your island look good. Are you?
Come on.
That's not from me. That's from somebody else. I want to ask. Are you offended by all of this? They're trying to correct this, what you've done over there.
I don't think I'm offended. I think
Okay.
I'm frustrated. I don't take these things personally, so I'm not offended.
Okay.
But it's very frustrating to see people like Mark Williamson and Sam Class-Motesta politicize this. So at a recent meeting, at which I was not present, I do want to be clear, when somebody commented that lots of people in that area really like the island, Mark Williamson responded with, yeah, liberals. So this for him is really political. It's about the fact that he didn't like Robert Palmieri. He didn't like me. Mark has, it's anybody knows that Mark really, really dislikes me. And so he went after this because it was in my district. He also went after this because it's across the street from where his daughter lives. When other things just like this have happened in other places in the city, Mark Williamson hasn't had a word.
Yeah,
to
but
say.
he's not the
So
only
this
one
is just
critical.
Politics.
There are a lot of
No,
people
he's
there.
not the only one, but he's the one driving this, and he was the one driving it on the council floor in the last term. And it's political. Most people in that area like that island. They see it as the improvement that it was designed to be. So.
I've heard a lot of people, and to be fair, I have not driven over there for fear that I'll wreck my car. So
you won't now because we've slowed the traffic down.
They have
so
slowed
you're
it
safe
down.
now.
I have not been over there, so I honestly don't know. I haven't followed this story, but it has been. I mean, leave it to you, Celeste. Though you have a
Get the conversation going.
You get people going. There's no doubt, which is why I am personally glad that you've not just disappeared.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that, Bill.
I
One of the
feel
things
that
to note is that traffic island was trialed for a year. We painted it in the same configuration that it got built, and we let that paint sit there for a year to see, and not a peep out of anyone.
All right.
So we did that. We did a good long trial run of that. So I'm not sympathetic to the people who think it needs to be removed.
Donna's asking, what island? Where is this?
It's
Dunham and Eastwood.
In the South Utica area.
Over by the Ridgewood Market Plaza.
Just west of Maria's Pasta Shop.
This is another issue. Oh, right over by the dead zone, the cellular dead zone, supposedly.
Yes.
Exactly.
This is interesting. This is from Rick. Can't we get a copy of the Boston policy and compare it to the written Utica policy and then make decisions on that as we review the issue? It would be probably a good idea to form a committee that would go on and just put this whole flag thing and make sure there's an attorney, corporation counsel involved.
Whose suggestion was that?
What's that?
Who just made that suggestion?
That was Rick. That is Rick. Yes.
Rick, I think that's a great idea.
Okay.
I think that's exactly how government should proceed. We should put together a number of community stakeholders. We should look at what other cities have done. We should read the Supreme Court ruling very carefully, which I don't believe the administration has done. We should see how Boston responded to it. They do have legislation which solved their problem and put them in good standing with the Supreme Court.
Well, maybe this is handed over to the Common Council. Maybe the council puts something together, and then it goes to the mayor. Here's something else that Tony Paceni, county executive, said. We make it very easy. We follow the federal policy, and that's that. It is there's the American flag, county flag, state flag, and POWMIA is accepted. Otherwise, we don't get into that at all, says Pacenti.
Well,
probably a good idea.
I think it's been very mean. But what has been the problem, right? Because don't tell me about the Supreme Court and we're going to get sued because
Okay,
that's
all right.
the exact wrong answer.
Okay.
What has been the problem with flying the different flags? So we fly the Italian-American flag. We fly the Welsh flag. We fly the Pride flag. We fly the Karen and flag. What has been the downside of any of that?
So the mayor did say yesterday Friday off air that the Nazi flag has been requested what did he say, like
2 or 3
5 times over the course of 10 years,
yeah.
something like
Okay,
that. So.
and again, the Boston policy, which is in good standing with the Supreme Court decision, makes it very easy to not fly
Fair
things
enough.
like
Okay.
the Nazi flag.
And then quickly, Jake is. Go ahead, Jake. I only have a few seconds, but go ahead.
Good morning, guys. The American flag covers all that. Celeste, if you're worried about it, why don't you fly a flag at your house? You can put up a gay flag.
I do.
There's nothing wrong with that.
I do fly the flag at my house.
Well, there you
and
go.
There's nothing inconsistent with the flag at my house and the flag at City Hall. We should all be flying the flag until young LGBT
The American
people
flag covers
aren't
it all.
afraid of being hurt.
Thank you, Jake.
Until young
Have a
gay
good day,
and
guys.
lesbian
Yep.
and until young members of the LGBT community stop killing themselves because they feel so ashamed of who they are. Until then, we should all be flying the flag. I absolutely fly the flag.
Celeste.
And so does Rome. And so does Syracuse. And so does Albany. Everybody flies the flag. But not Utica.
Celeste, thank you for your input. We appreciate it, and thanks for staying
Thanks for
involved.
having me on, as always. Okay.
Have a great
Thanks,
day.
Bill.
Okay.
Bye.
We'll talk more about this coming up.
From the Stanley Theater Studio, WIBX Utica, Rome, W295EI, WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM, a Town Square media station.
Another historic trial. I'm Chris Foster, Fox News. Former President Trump last week became the first former president convicted of a crime, and jury selection starts this hour in Delaware for the first ever trial of a current president's child.
Hunter Biden is accused of lying about drug use on a form required to purchase a firearm in 2018. The president's son has admitted to cocaine addiction and described his struggles in a book, writing he's been sober since 2019. The trial is expected to last a couple of weeks. Hunter Biden is also charged with federal tax violations. That trial in California was delayed until September. At the White House, Jared Halpern, Fox News.
History's made in Mexico. The country's first woman president, Claudia Sheinbaum, is elected in a landslide. She was the mayor of Mexico City and head of the country's Environment and National Resource Department. 11 people are reported killed in Israeli strikes overnight in central Gaza, and another Hamas hostage's body is recovered. The ceasefire proposal President Biden announced Friday is still waiting for approval or rejection.
The UN's Relief and Works Agency is working in several areas affected by the Israel-Hamas conflict, East Jerusalem, as well as the West Bank and Gaza. UNRWA's Senior Deputy Director of Affairs, Scott Anderson, on CBS Face the Nation said he hopes a proposal to stop the fighting can take hold.
We very much welcome a ceasefire. It's time for the hostages to go home to their families. Time for more aid to start coming in, and then hopefully we can start rebuilding Gaza.
But Israel has its issues with the agency passing a bill in its parliament to brand UNRWA as a terrorist group because of claims that past agency members had ties to militant groups. Gernal Scott, Fox News.
Dr. Anthony Fauci appears today before the House subcommittee investigating the COVID-19 pandemic, its origins, and the federal response, which Dr. Fauci helped oversee. America's listening to Fox News.
Well, the weather's warming up and summer's just around the corner. Everyone has a favorite outdoor activity: golf, bike riding, bird watching, long walks. Ask 100 people, you'll get 100 answers. But if everyday aches and pains are keeping you on the sidelines, I have one answer: Relief Factor. Relief Factor is a 100% drug-free daily supplement that helps your body fight pain naturally. Developed by doctors, Relief Factor uses a unique formula of natural ingredients. It doesn't just mask pain, it helps reduce or even eliminate it. Wherever you're hurting, back, neck, joints, or muscles, in 3 weeks or less, you'll start to feel the difference all day, every day. So whatever you like to do, swimming, pickleball, hanging out in the garden, Relief Factor can help you feel good again and let you enjoy all your favorite outdoor activities all summer long. Go to ReliefFactor.com or call 1-800-4-RELIEF and save on your first order. That's 1-800-4-RELIEF. Fight pain naturally with Relief Factor.
He says his revenge will be winning the election.
These people are sick.
They're sick. They're deranged.
Former President Trump also says he's not sure the public would stand for it if he's sent to prison. He was on Fox and Friends Weekend talking about his criminal hush money case and conviction, and more cases still pending.
The hush money trial is in the rearview mirror for former President Trump, but there are 3 more legal cases facing him. 2 of them are related to efforts to overturn his defeat in the 2020 election, one in Georgia and one in Washington, D.C. And a third is focused on secret government documents found at Mar-a-Lago, his Florida home. There is also the Supreme Court ruling expected by the end of this month, which centers on his claim of immunity for official acts taken as president in the federal 2020 election subversion case. If he is reelected as president in November, he would be in a position to shut down the 2 federal cases and could seek to have the state prosecution put on hold. In New York City, Tanya J. Powers, Fox News.
A wildfire that started Saturday in San Juan County, California, is reported to be about 50% contained now. Evacuation orders are lifted. At least 1 home's destroyed.
I'm having difficulty just breathing with all this smoke and the wind blowing in every direction. 1 firefighter hurt with minor injuries, another firefighter injured with moderate injuries. Firefighters are all around us as flames pop up in every location. They try to get a handle on it and put them out quickly. The visibility is so bad. And I don't know if you can hear the wind, but it literally is knocking the breath right out of me. It is crazy.
Rowena Shaddix with Fox 40 Sacramento. Prosecutors plan to dismiss murder and manslaughter charges against a Minnesota state trooper who shot and killed a man trying to pull away during a traffic stop based on new analysis of video from the scene. I'm Chris Foster, Fox News.
Good morning, WIBX 950 AM, 92.3 FM news time, 8:05. I'm Andrew Derminio. It's going to be a great day today. We're already at 63 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Your full weather forecast is coming up. This update brought to you by the new destination Kia of Utica on Commercial Drive in Yorkville. Members of the public are getting another chance to weigh in on Micron Technology's plan to create chip-making plants in Clay. The U.S. Army Corps of Engineers has launched a survey, and the deadline for comments is July 1st. Micron wants to construct at least 4 plants at the White Pine Commerce Park that would create thousands of jobs in the area. Anyone who wants to have their voice heard can send a letter to the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers, Buffalo District Office in Auburn. Lawmakers will be back at the state capitol today as the final week of this year's legislative session begins. There's expected to be debate on several issues, including ways to combat climate change, and also Governor Hochul's push to limit the harmful impacts of social media on children. The governor says that's the only thing she's asking for to be addressed and passed in the coming days. The Senate and Assembly are expected to leave Albany after Thursday. The State Department of Agriculture and Markets is issuing a warning about elevated lead levels found in products sold across the Empire State. The products are Badia ground cinnamon and Badia ground ginger. The cinnamon comes in 2-ounce bottles, and the ginger is in 1.5-ounce bottles. Exposure to high lead levels can cause health issues like kidney damage and developmental disorders. No illnesses have been reported. Anyone who has these products should throw them out. Central New York drivers are still feeling a bit of relief at the pump when it comes time to fill up their vehicles. According to AAA, the average cost for a gallon of regular fuel is $3.62. That's down 3 cents in the last week and is 7 cents less than what motorists were paying at this time last month. Right now, the state average is $3.65 a gallon, while nationally it's $3.54. And an Ohio billionaire has plans to take a submarine down to the remains of the Titanic. Haven't we read this story before? Larry Connor and Triton Submarines
I can't believe they're going right back down.
Patrick Leahy.
There are like a handful of companies that are doing this.
Yeah, well, it's sometimes that billionaire mentality, that, entrepreneurial mentality.
If people are willing to pay, what do you do?
Exactly. Larry Connor and Triton Submarines co-founder Patrick Leahy intend to pilot a small craft nearly 4,000 meters down to the floor of the Atlantic Ocean to show that it can be done safely. It has been nearly a year since the Ocean Gate submersible imploded while diving down to the view of the Titanic off the coast of Newfoundland. 5 people, including OceanGate CEO Stockton Rush, were killed in that incident. It is 8:08. Your weather forecast is brought to you by Adirondack Home Furniture. For today, we can expect mostly sunny skies with a high in the mid-80s. Can't get much better than that. Overnight, we'll see clear skies with a low temperature at about 60 degrees. Then a slight chance of rain possible tomorrow, maybe a thunderstorm. We'll see temperatures again in the mid to upper 80s. Right now, we're at 63 degrees under cloudy skies. For the full 5-day forecast anytime, go to WIBX950.com. It is 8:09. Sports brought to you by IBEW NECA 43 local contractors. The Diamondbacks split their 4-game series against the Mets after earning a come-from-behind 5-4 win at Citi Field. New York is still 4th in the NL East at 24-35. They'll visit the Nationals for a 3-game series that begins tonight. The Yankees swept the Giants to extend their winning streak to 5 games after earning a 7-5 victory in San Francisco. They took 7 of 9 in their West Coast road trip, and they get a little bit of a break today, and hopefully they'll stay red hot as they go into their series at home against the Twins, which starts tomorrow. New York is leading the AL East at 42-19, the best record in baseball. The Rangers' season, unfortunately, came to a close after falling to the Florida Panthers 2-1 in Game 6 of the Eastern Conference Final. The Blue Shirts became the first President's Trophy winners to advance to the conference finals since New York finished with the most points in the regular season before the 2015 playoffs. The Rangers have 8 players who are either unrestricted free agents or restricted free agents this summer. Meanwhile, the Stanley Cup final has been set as the Oilers took down the Stars 2-1 in Edmonton to win the Western Conference Final Series 4-2. So it is a Canada versus U.S. battle for the NHL Finals. The NBA Finals will tip off this week as Jason Tatum in Boston will host Luka Doncic and the Dallas Mavericks in Game 1 on Thursday at TD Garden. The Celtics advanced after sweeping the Indiana Pacers in the Eastern Conference Finals. They have not played since May 27th. And finally, the NFL is expected to hand down tampering punishments to a pair of teams this week. They're going to slap Atlanta and the Eagles with penalties after Atlanta was investigated for contact made with former Vikings quarterback Kirk Cousins before signing the 4-year, $180 million contract during free agency. And Philly signed Saquon Barkley away from the NFC East rival Giants to a 3-year deal worth nearly $38 million. WIBX 950 AM 92.3 FM News Time 8:11.
Okay, so I'm going to later in this week, and I think I'll bring somebody on from the Fountainhead group. This is incredible. You know, a few years ago, I got one of these sprayers that's made
by
in
Black
New York
Flag,
Mills.
by New York Mills, yeah by Fountainhead Group, yep.
And this one, it's a backpack, and I think you can fit like 5 gallons in it. Now, you may be watering, you may be, you may be spraying a pesticide, or, you may be fertilizing, whatever it is you're doing. You pump it, and it sprays. You're never going to believe what I found, and you're not going to believe this.
Yeah.
It's made by Fountainhead.
It's another device?
It's another device.
Wow.
And it has blown my mind. I was playing with it over the weekend.
They do a lot.
You can get this at any of the big box stores, on Amazon, Home Depot, Lowe's. I'm assuming all the stores have it. It is a DeWalt sprayer, and you use your lithium battery.
So whatever DeWalt battery you have for the rechargeable?
So my drill is a DeWalt.
Yep. You take that battery.
Put it in. This thing, let's say, this is unbelievable. On high, let's say you have a wasp's nest that is threatening to get into your house or something. It's in the top crevice of your rooftop. You put it on high, Gone.
Can it hit neighbors?
It could. It could. This is unbelievable. And it just run. I mean, you can have, if you have multiple batteries, you're good to go. No more pumping. No more pumping. This thing just sprays. And it can spray very lightly. It has a dial on it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I believe. And look at the thing here.
And it's still made by Fountainhead Group. So if you give up the pump sprayer, it's not. I'm
going to bring up images here. Right, I'll probably have to sell the pump sprayer to somebody at a garage sale or something. But I won't let them see this because they're going to be like, well, what do you have in there? I want that.
I want that, yeah.
Look at the beauty.
I haven't seen you this excited about something since the Snow Joe. I mean,
well, I got to tell you, this is big. And the Snow Joe, I really lost interest in.
Why? It worked so well.
It did. But I just grab a shovel. I mean, if you can't shovel, maybe a Snow Joe would be a good idea.
Yeah.
But look at this thing. Look at it. Now, here's a guy carrying it around right there. He's got it backpack. You fill it up with whatever it is. It could be water. It could be a pesticide, whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
And then you put the battery in, and away you go.
Wow.
This is amazing.
Could be fertilizer.
Once again, I cannot tell you how amazing it is that this is made right here in our own backyard. This comes from the Fountainhead Group in New York Mills. They do so many things there you'd have no idea. But this is top of the line, state of the art, and I'm going to bring it in later in the week. We're going to go. We're going to do some spraying in the backyard.
We're going to be spraying.
I could hit the throughway from here. I'm going to tell you, I could. I won't.
You could.
You want to wash your windows? You take that
Does
Windex.
It have like a?
You take that Windex stuff you get that you can hook to your hose. And sometimes the hose can't get all the way up to the top windows.
You're saying this has like enough pressure to?
It has enough pressure to get to the
Wow.
very top of the house. It's unbelievable. All right. Can we wait on? Can I break and then take Ace?
It's up to you.
And it's Ace Morielli.
Moriel, I believe.
Moriel. All right, stand by, Ace. We're coming right to you.
Based on what Celeste said.
And we have a bunch of comments we'll get to as well. The number one independent real estate agency in all of Central New York is River Hills Properties. And, oh, by the way, they just so happen to have a TV show. And it's real estate. Utica, Rome, the Valley, Syracuse area, the Adirondacks, down south of Route 20, all over, featuring homes that are sold by River Hills Properties. Homes that are just gems. And what's amazing is the market is so hot right now. The stock is so low. We'll do, like in this past weekend show, we were in the middle of, Robin came on and said, I have 6 homes that are active right now. You could go out today, make a phone call today, and you could see them later today. Boom. By the time the show ended, she had to amend that because one of the houses already went under contract.
Wow.
This is how quickly
That's
they move.
awesome.
Especially you tell me, especially if they're in that $160 to $280, $300,000 range.
Especially the 160 to 250 range. Gone. See ya.
Hard to find these houses. The show is called Sold in Upstate New York, and you can check it out online right now at YouTube. It's available right now for you to check out, or watch on TV on the weekends on Fox on Sundays at 8 a.m. and 11:30 p.m. or 2 p.m. on WPNY on Saturdays. It's called Sold in Upstate New York. If you're looking to sell your home, River Hills, think of the River Hills philosophy. Your listing agent is your partner from start to finish. There's no one walking through your home without your listing agent there. It's a big deal. It's a great way of selling a home, and you know that you have a partner to lower that stress level from start to finish. Offices in Barneville, Little Falls, Rome, and Utica. Online, it's riverhillspropertiesllc.com. Nobody sells homes like River Hills Properties. A quick 2 minutes, and Ace, I'm coming right back to you on WIBX.
Ready to hit the road with confidence this summer? Look no further than Tallman's Tire and Auto Repair, your one-stop shop for top-quality tires at unbeatable prices. At Tallman's Tire and Auto Repair, we believe that safety and savings go hand in hand. That's why we offer the best prices up front on top brands, including Summit, Nokian, Bridgestone, and more. With Tallman's Tire and Auto Repair, you'll drive away with peace of mind and money in your pocket. Locations in Utica, Yorkville, Rome, and Herkimer, and online at tallmanstire.com.
We're here for you when that tree falls on your garage.
Uh-oh.
Or when that small roof leak turns into something bigger.
Uh-oh.
For all the uh-ohs in life, call the Frigo Agency. Life is complicated, and everyone's needs are different. When you sit down with the Frigo Agency, you're dealing with local people who understand your needs. So for all of life's uh-ohs, you need the Frigo Agency on Clinton Road in New Hartford. Get started today at uticaroaminsurance.com.
If you're looking for flooring, boy, do I have the perfect place for you. This is Bill Keeler, and I highly recommend Sarah's Flooring Outlet, the area's leading flooring store. They have the absolute largest inventory in Central New York, and it's a brand new store at the Route 49 Plaza in Marcy. And if you're looking for Pergo Extreme, they have a price guarantee anywhere in the area within a 60-mile radius of their store. It's a pretty awesome deal, and you know you're going to get the best deal at Insera's. Log on to their website at insarasflooringoutlet.com and sign up to save $50 off your next purchase of $500 or more. You can shop online or in the store. You will not find a better selection than in Sarah's Flooring Outlet. See why more people buy from the big store. Its selection, its price, and it's a 6-month interest-free financing. Log on to the website in sarasflooringoutlet.com and see for yourself, or visit their store in Sarah's Flooring Outlet, Route 49 Plaza, River Road in Marcy.
WIBX. This is Keeler. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now back to the Keeler Show.
I also don't want to be considered somebody that constantly comes in every day, and I live in a world of extremes. You ever feel like I do that?
No.
Good.
No.
I think I feel like I do that because I'm about to do it again. I'm about to do it again, and I'll tell you about it coming up in a second. It is like when somebody's like, oh, yes, we have such and such. And I'm like, oh, really? I have 5 of them. That's what I'm going to do right now.
That's one-uppery is what that is.
I'm going to do some one-uppery. And I don't mean to do it, but facts are facts. I can't help but tell the truth. Ace, by the way, how do I pronounce your last name?
That's okay. My last name is Morielli.
Morielli.
Okay, that's
Morielli. Okay, Ace.
Thank you for joining us so quickly and the last minute.
Ace Morielli is the head of the Pride Committee in Utica.
Oneida County.
Oneida County Pride Group?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I am.
Okay, all right. So tell me your thoughts on this whole pride flag situation and how this whole thing went down.
Mm-hmm. So we are disappointed in hearing that the pride flag has not been raised in the city of Utica, especially since we're having such great support from both the city of Rome, the Oneida County, as well as the state. And I'm sure as some of it has been made public about how it took a long time for the mayor to get back to us to know that we were declined. We submitted our application February 8th, and we didn't get an answer until April 28th.
So I think you were. I don't want to make excuses for the mayor. Have you spoken with the mayor?
Yes, we did meet with him once.
Okay, and how did that go? And what came out of that?
So he was very cordial with us. He was very friendly, tried to assure us that his new policy was not specifically towards the queer community. It was more of a blanket policy. But our conversation didn't really get anywhere in terms of trying to get the flag raised. We talked a lot about trying to figure out what the policy was and what happened, why it took so long for us to get the answer. But we didn't really get anywhere farther than that.
Now, Celeste had mentioned that you had no involvement with the mayor's decision to light City Hall in the LGBTQ colors. What would you have wanted to have him done differently, or how would you have wanted to be a part of that discussion?
So like I said, we only had one sit-down meeting with the mayor prior to the Pride Festival. And during that conversation, we were talking about how we can move forward, but didn't get anywhere. So I would have liked to have been invited to speak with him again, especially I heard that he met with someone in the community that I haven't even met them. So if I had been invited to that meeting, or if if we could have a separate meeting, just something more, because I did not learn about the City Hall lights until it came on the news.
So this is kind of an interesting thing, and I want your take on this, Ace. Ever go to Ventura's, by the way? Love that restaurant. Get it? Ace Ventura.
Oh, would you stop?
Right? Sorry.
Sorry, it's a Monday here.
It's Monday.
On WIBX.
Had a long weekend. So here's what I had somebody recently within the LGBTQ community that I was speaking with, and they said that one of the problems that they feel, and you tell me if you feel this exists, is there are a handful of groups in, let's say, Oneida County that represent LGBTQ, and
Or
some
claim to.
Some go further, some are, maybe less, but that not all of them, like your group, another group might not see eye to eye with your group and feels, don't talk to them, you should talk to us. And do you feel that exists in Utica? Because this is what I was told.
Do not feel that way, because the organizations that I have worked with, for instance, at the Q Center, there's a few smaller groups that are like under larger organizations that are for very specific populations.
Yeah.
And we do have good relationships with them, and we do talk with them often. Our group is supposed to be for the whole county, is supposed to be for the whole diversity of the LGBTQ population. So we do work with those specific groups. We even know there's like a group in Rome that we talk to. So I have not encountered that at all.
Okay. All right. Okay. This is what I was told. So what in a perfect world, short of flying the pride flag, because it does seem like the city is moving forward on
the policy
certain
of just
pride celebration events that are going on and all of that. In a perfect world, what would you want out of the mayor? What would you want out of the mayor?
I think at this point, I am in communication with him to just have another meeting with him to come to better understanding of what's going on. Because like I said, I've only met with him once, and I've talked briefly through email for his chief of staff, Mike Gentile.
Okay.
So I think we do need a better communication, just because a lot of the stuff I'm learning about with him, I learned through the news. And I would like to have better communication, especially since we were the one who submitted the application. We're the one who's organizing most of the events in Oneida County.
Okay.
And I think just better communication in general.
My sense of him is that he genuinely feels bad about this whole controversy. Do you get that same feel?
I feel that he is not homophobic in any way. This policy wasn't specifically for us.
Yes.
But it's definitely a difference in opinion of what the role of the government is.
Yeah.
And so he has apologized to us, but we also haven't really come to agreement yet on how to move forward with it either.
So do you feel that, because again, from what it seems, and the conversations we've had with Mayor Galimi, that the flag policy will remain in effect as it is. Will you still be open to other ideas if the mayor is to have another meeting with you? And do you feel like you can make progress as far as other ways in which the city can recognize Pride Month? And
because
Pride
ultimately,
events?
Ace, this could turn out to be a real positive.
Yes. That's what we all hope for.
Good could hopefully come out, because whenever we're talking about something, I think that's always a good thing.
Yes, I do hope to have keep building my relationship with the mayor as we move forward with this. I definitely would like to see other forms of support from him, because our Pride event was at MPCC, and we had about 90 vendors, and we're growing very quickly. So we would love to have the support of the city as we continue to grow. But I am aware that we've had lawyers reach out to us that his policy violates the First Amendment. So as far as that policy, it is up in discussion. But as far as other forms of support, I definitely would love to build that relationship and continue to grow with that.
So Ace, you did receive a physical copy of the policy?
There is no written copy of the policy.
So the lawyers that you've talked to, they've received a copy of it?
No, there is no. When I met with the mayor, he says there is no written policy.
Oh, okay. All right. So would you come back and give us an update?
Oh, sure.
Yeah, because we'd like to update this. You know, the reality is everyone should feel welcome, whether it be in our schools, or it be in our communities. Everybody should, and maybe I'm just naive, but I feel like Utica, the Mohawk Valley, we do a really good job at making people feel welcome. I hope I'm correct with that.
So at least from my experience, we have had nothing but support with creating a group because we're only 2 years old. We partner with so many organizations at this point who have supported us, and we haven't received too much negative feedback.
Mm-hmm.
So our experience as a group, I would say yes, and that is partially why we were surprised about being declined with the pride flag. But as a whole, I would say Oneida County, obviously I can't speak for everyone's individual experience, but as far as our organization, our community outreach, we have been shown nothing but support.
Okay. All right. Well, you keep us posted. We'll reach out to you again when we see this move forward. But we'd love to get your take on an upcoming, hopefully, a meeting that you're going to have with the mayor. Hopefully that happens.
Thank you so much.
All right.
And I will give you, Ace, my contact information so you can contact me directly if you need anything going forward in the future.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much.
Have a good day.
You too. Okay. So we'll see where all of that goes. I like the idea of just adopting a policy that's already been vetted. A larger city like Boston that has a far larger budget when it comes to attorneys and dealing with the situation. And they were sued, by the way.
Or the county's federal policy.
Or the county's, whatever policy, I think the way to go would be to adopt something. Why reinvent the wheel when there are already municipalities out there that are covering this? The other thing is, it seems like somebody in Syracuse, part of Syracuse government, was critical of Utica. I was very surprised to see that. Normally, you don't see cities criticizing each other, but Syracuse, I believe it was I
think it was a member of Ben Walsh's staff.
Yeah, it was a staff member that was very, very critical of Utica.
Well, it's political. You know, things get political.
I guess. All right. Coming up, police officers in New York City leaving at a rate of about, you want to know, 200 a month. Now, they have a large police force, but losing 200 police officers a month, I don't know how you sustain that. We'll speak with Joe Cardinale, former lieutenant commander of NYPD, coming up.
It's hard to know what to do when you lose a loved one. You need someone you can trust to help you navigate all the options. Mohawk Valley Monuments has been providing comfort and delivering quality memorials in our community for over 95 years. Mohawk Valley Monuments has experience with all the local cemeteries, from simple grave markings to intricate family mausoleums. For personalized service, call us today at 315-724-7629 or visit us at mohawkvalleymonuments.com.
Replacing your roof isn't a decision you take lightly. You want industry standards met with affordable options and a crew who knows how important a sound roof is to you and your family. Dennis Padula & Sons Roofing is your hometown roofers with deep roots in our community. Padula Roofers specialize in residential roofing projects. They're a GAF certified master elite roofing contractor who keeps their standards above the rest. Call 315-733-1564 to find out more about their Roofs for Troops mail-in rebate. Dennis Padula & Sons Roofing, your hometown roofers.
This is Bill Cole from Gates Cole Insurance. Finding insurance coverage can be an overwhelming undertaking. As your local independent insurance company, we work hard for you to get the best coverage.
My name is Timothy Dean. I'm from Tabor, New York. I have Dean's Concessions. I travel throughout New York State. I have been a customer for over 20 years, personal, with Gates Cole. And ever since I've started my business for the last 18 years have been solely with Gates Cole Insurance. As I have to call them from time to time to get certificates, and they take in within 15-20 minutes. We have a certificate. Gates Cole has exceptional customer service. They're there for you, and I have referred people to Gates Cole, and those people that have transferred over to Gates Cole have been very happy with their services.
This is Tom Cole. For insurance for your home, auto, business, and just about everything else, trust your local independent insurance agency. Gates Cole Insurance. We'll take care of you.
The only place to get your Memorial Day mattress is at Mattress Express. No one in New York State has all the brands under one roof that Mattress Express has, and listen to these Memorial Day deals. Save up to $800 on select Stearns & Foster sets and get a $200 prepaid Visa card. Save up to $500 on Tempur-Pedic sets and get a $300 prepaid Visa card. Save up to $500 on Sealy sets, get a $100 prepaid Visa card. Now, Mattress Express has the largest selection of purple mattresses in upstate New York. We sell for the same price as online, and at Memorial Day deals, you can save up to $800 on a purple set. On top of all that, you get our brand name low price guarantee. If you see the same mattress advertised locally within 30 days after purchase, for less, we'll refund the difference. If that isn't enough, take up to 60 months to pay on anything in the store with no money down for qualified buyers. See store for details.
Hey, Ricky Z is ready for you at Steve Ponte Mazda for the Move to Mazda sales event. It's going on now. It's back. It's ready to go. You could be driving a brand new Mazda today. Drive a new 2024 Mazda CX-30 Select Sport model for only $275 a month on a 36-month lease. Talk about APR financing, 0%, 1.9%, 2.9%, or 3.9% on select award-winning new 2024 Mazdas. See Steve Ponte Mazda for details. And Rick will take care of you. Let's make your deal on a new Mazda for the dealership that's achieved first place nationally in customer satisfaction. It's Steve Ponte Mazda, Commercial Drive in Yorkville.
WIBX.
This is Keeler.
WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
Now back to the Keeler Show.
Hey, it's going on in Herkimer County. We're underway in June. If you're looking for stuff to do, there's so much to do in Herkimer County, including this weekend, the world's largest yard sale.
Oh, yeah.
Happens at the Herkimer County Fairgrounds. Vendor after vendor after vendor, sale after sale, deal after deal. It begins at 8 a.m. on Saturday. Get in line and get there. Some really, really great deals. Plus, explore Herkimer cheese, so delicious. Herkimer diamond mines. You can you can dig for Herkimer diamonds. Do what someone like what's his name that did the vodka.
Oh yeah,
Ghostbuster himself, Dan Aykroyd. Take a boat tour along the historic Erie Canal. Leave from Waterfront Grill and Gems Along the Mohawk. So amazing. Food truck season is underway. Enchanted Forest is opening up in about a week and a half.
Where the fun never stops. Bum,
and
bum.
the list goes on. It is happening in Herkimer County. It's happening in New York City right now. They're losing, on average, about 200 police officers per month.
That's insane.
How do we sustain that? On the line right now, he was a former lieutenant commander of NYPD, Joe Cardinale. Joe, good morning.
Good morning, gentlemen. How are you today?
Well, I think the question is, how do we handle losing 200 officers a month?
Oh, it's a great question, and they're still trying to deal with retention levels, but even recruitment is at an all-time low. I mean, what do you expect to happen when you do not have the qualified indemnification that you once had, and they're asking you to do an impossible job with the numbers dwindling down to 33,000 or even below that, down to 30,000 right now? All right, we used to be at 38,000. That's a major chunk of this job gone, and everybody has to do double duty. They have to do overtime, and they're stressed to levels like you wouldn't believe. It's just not a conducive environment to be a police officer these days.
Yeah.
Now, what is the average salary for an NYPD officer right now?
It varies. I mean, they're trying to get it up there where you accelerate to the pay. I mean, top pay you could be anywhere from 100 or better. All right. I mean, when you're getting a top pay, but they're taking night differential and everything into consideration there. But overtime. But think about this: what job is worth that right now when you have a prosecutor like Bragg that'll just as well go after a cop before he goes after a repeat offender? All right, and the turnstile justice over here. So you no longer have a proactive police department. You have a Stepford Police Department that's at the whim of the city council.
Well, you take a look at yesterday, the Israel Day celebration in New York City. Think of all the police officers that had to be on duty there, and think of the overtime that gets required. We're going to burn these guys and women out very quickly with, and not to mention, we just came off a trial where, you had the former president of the United States going back and forth every single day through the streets of New York City. So we're, keeping this city safe. The people are going to start to burn.
They already are. They're burning out. And, the stress level is through the roof right now because you have to worry about every little thing that you see with this law that they want to, have that they have in place where if, civilian complaints, you get 5 in 2 years or 1 year. They send it to, how much more stress can you put on the police officers across the state and across this nation?
Yeah.
Things have to change. Things have to change. We have to get them the qualified indemnification back. You have to keep the retention level. All right. And they have to start paying attention to what's happening here in New York City because we're hemorrhaging the cops and we're hemorrhaging businesses out of New York City at a rate that we've never seen before. And you will not get these businesses back until things do a complete turnaround. So,
you have, and a lot of this has got to be corrected at the state level with raise the age and right?
Exactly. That's why I'm actually running for New York State Assembly for District 11 here out on Long Island. And things have to change. We have to repeal the bail reform and put one in place that works. This system is not working across the entire judicial system in New York State. Is not working because of failed policies. Yeah. And we all see it. It's not something that I'm fear-mongering on. It's something that we all see. We need a safer and more affordable New York, and it starts with November.
Who is your opponent? You have I'm assuming you have an opponent. And is this a left Democrat, a moderate Democrat? Who are you facing?
I was facing a far left. I would say to the left Democrat. Kimberly Jean-Pierre, and then she dropped out of the race. She's no longer running, and they have another opponent that's hand chosen. And it's just, what? I just want people in New York State to vote for common sense. That's what it has to be right now. It cannot be business as usual. I'm not asking people to abandon their party or anything. I'm saying vote common sense. If this is working for you, what's happening in New York, then it's too, and you think it works the way it is right now, then it's too late. You drank the Kool-Aid, and there's nothing we could say. All right, but you need to get common sense back. You need that true bipartisan, not when it's convenient for people. For politicians, it has to be for what the people want and need.
And you know what? The reality is when you're living in or visiting New York City, you want to be safe, right?
Exactly.
That's the one thing you want to trust.
And you can't get that right now.
Yeah.
You cannot get that right now.
Joe, we'll do this again. Thank you. And we're following your campaign over there.
Thank you very much.
Thanks so much. Joe
All right, Joe.
Former Lieutenant Commander of the NYPD. Coming up, we're going to get into this issue of equity, racial equity at New Hartford Central School. Hard to believe we're even talking about that, but we're going to be.
It is. Do you want to do, we have a ton of comments so that we don't take away from Nandy. Do you want to do some of those before we break?
Yeah, let's do that. Let me tell you about Sarah's Flooring Outlet, the area's leading flooring store. Period. Flooring. Whether you're looking for Pergo Extreme by Mohawk, there you have the 60-mile price guarantee. Within a 60-mile radius of the store, you're guaranteed the best price and inventory. They have the largest inventory, bigger than the largest of the big box stores. They don't carry all that unique inventory to make your home unique and different. Having something spectacularly different than your neighbors. You can get all of that, or everything from carpeting to vinyl flooring, whatever you're looking for. If it's flooring, Sal and the wonderful people at Sarah's Flooring are ready to take care of you right now. There's a $50 coupon on the website. Check it out. And you get 6 months interest-free financing. In Sarah's Flooring Outlet, Route 49 Plaza, River Road, Marcy, and online in sarahsflooringoutlet.com.
Hey, Jen. OMG, look how busy it is in here. How'd you get all these customers?
Yeah, this month has been a record breaker for us. For a long time, we had decent business coming in from word of mouth, but we weren't growing. Lately, though, a lot of new folks have been finding us online, and that's made all the difference.
That's terrific. I wish I could figure out how to do that for my shop, but I have no idea where to start.
Just do what I did. It's not as hard as you'd think. Go to mylocalcustomers.com to see exactly how many searches there are for businesses like yours.
Okay. Okay, then what?
If you see that there are a good number of clients searching in our area, you'll also get some suggestions for the best way to get their attention.
Do you think there are a lot of people searching for my business?
There's only one way to find out. Go to mylocalcustomers.com. It's quick, easy, and free.
Go to mylocalcustomers.com for a free local customer analysis that will show you how many customers are searching online for your type of business. It's quick, easy, and free. Visit mylocalcustomers.com. That's mylocalcustomers.com.
The doctor's office that mixed up your files has your Social Security number. The power company that mistakenly cut your service has your payment info and last 3 addresses. Your info is in endless places that could accidentally expose your info to identity theft. That's why LifeLock monitors millions of data points every second. If your identity's stolen, they'll fix it guaranteed or your money back. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code CLAY at lifelock.com. Terms apply.
It's hard to know what to do when you lose a loved one. You need someone you can trust to help you navigate all the options. Mohawk Valley Monuments has been providing comfort and delivering quality memorials in our community for over 95 years. Mohawk Valley Monuments has experience with all the local cemeteries, from simple grave markings to intricate family mausoleums. For personalized service, call us today at 315-724-7629 or visit us at mohawkvalleymonuments.com.
WIBX.
This is Keeler.
WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
Now back to the Keeler Show.
Hey, the official coffee of the Keeler in the Morning radio program. Dave. I feel like I'm a soccer. Dave. Lord Donuts. The matcha green tea is so good. The green tea latte. It's a matcha latte. So delicious. They have 14 other flavors of latte. Check it out. The drive-thru is lightning fast. The donuts, those glazed donuts, when they're made fresh in the morning and you get them, they literally melt in your mouth. Daylight Donuts in New Hartford. Okay, some quick comments, and then I want to get into this New Hartford issue.
Yeah, so we have a number of comments. I'm going to breeze through them here. John from Bridgewater, give me a break. Fly the flag at your own house then. Jason in Utica, why put a sidewalk around that little island? Big Honey, a flag to show you like sex with the same sex. I love this country. Sue in Utica, wouldn't that be nice if flying a flag would stop making people feel ashamed and persecuted? Flying a flag is no magic wand to eradicate citizens' attitudes towards LGBT community. Regarding Franklin Square's project, when a city project is proposed, isn't there a person or persons that have to review and approve the project for
One would think.
You would think for its sustainability, due to weather and use, not to mention its aesthetic value. I would assume safety would be another requirement under review. It's hard to believe that there isn't someone responsible for okaying this project that should be held accountable to correct the problem that is occurring.
This really comes down to former Mayor Rob Palmieri, right? I mean, you just kind of allowed them to go off. It seems, I don't know, but it seems willy-nilly.
Easy and Ilian, you don't need to fly a flag to welcome anyone. Lance and Lee, because Celeste is involved, I don't believe Galimi will change his stance on the flag. To me, Mr. Galimi and his chief of staff come across as smug politicians. As much as I tend to comment on Griffo and Pacenti, they both don't seem to have that smug attitude. A little peek behind the curtain of who Lance and Lee may be. And Bill, I pronounced this name without trying to offend or do it incorrectly.
Right.
Bill
Okay.
Hadis.
Hadis, you're right.
My father was the excavating contractor for Fountain and Keyway Arch. The fountain wasn't on 24 hours before someone tossed dish soap in it.
Yeah, I remember.
Those
when
are
that
the
happened.
comments of the day.
All right, on the line right now, there's a committee in New Hartford that's been going on long before this LeBron James story hit at New Hartford Central School, and it's called EEC, Education Equity Committee, and it's a committee of locals who get together and really are trying to make sure that this that everyone feels welcome at New Hartford Central School District. On the line right now is one of the parents who is on the committee. I hope I don't butcher your name, and maybe you can correct me. Nandi Ruggiero? How do I pronounce your name?
You got it right.
Okay.
You got it right, Nandi.
All right, Nandi.
How are you?
Thank you so much for coming on. I know you wanted to express what's happening on this committee, and let me start by saying, do you feel work needs to be done in New Hartford?
Of course.
Yeah.
100%. Oh, yes, 100%. We all feel this way. The committee, like you mentioned, has been going on for a few years now. It started as the DEI committee with parents and staff and faculty, as actually teachers of the school. And they, about 2 years ago, made an interesting proposal. I wasn't there at that time, but I'm conveying what I know about what happened then. They made an interesting proposal for enhancing cultural competency, reducing bullying, increasing more, a much more robust curriculum for making kids more emotionally intelligent and more aware of their surroundings in terms of culture and society. But as far as I'm concerned, that proposal, no one ever heard back as to what happened, what the decision was. We just never heard anything. That's what I know up to this point. Then that the committee was transformed into a ECC committee, Equity and Education Committee, which we're part of. And like you mentioned, yes, we've been working for a long time on this. Proposals have been given, and it seems like we don't know where they're going, where our ideas are going, how they're being implemented, if they're implemented. And so as a result of the LeBron James incident, we called on a meeting of parents and anybody in the community who wanted to show up to talk about this. And this is where we learned that actually this is more pervasive than we even imagined it was, that people being called homophobic names or being called the N-word or other stereotypes of different kinds for different populations, not just for the LGBTQ.
So what you're saying is you feel it's more prevalent, this bigotry is more prevalent than ever thought before.
Of course, yes. I personally am not from the area. My husband is, and he had mentioned to me that it is pretty pervasive. I had no idea to the extent until I met with other parents and we sat down in a safe space, safe environment with other students, and they were saying, listen, this LeBron James thing is nothing to compare to what we're exposed to.
Wow.
And the sad part is that one of the parents was like, I went here 40 years ago. I'm a person of color. 40 years ago, there was less people of color at the school. It's sad to see that 40 years later, the demographics have changed, but the curriculum hasn't changed. So we're coming from the position of we need to change the curriculum. There has to be a systemic change, and there has to be an increase of the oversight on the part of this educational system that seems to oversee issues or situations such as the LeBron James or racist RPs, which, by the way, was installed at the middle school for 2 weeks prior to being moved to the high school for a bigger show.
Wow, I didn't know that.
I didn't realize that aspect either.
Yeah.
Me neither. I learned that because of the students that were in our meeting told us, hey, that was there for 2 weeks, but we can't say anything because if we say something, the administration just doesn't listen to us or undermines what we have to say.
So you're saying that the students had raised issues with the administration when it was at the middle school and that was ignored?
To be honest, I'm not even sure if they raised issue. What they told me is, listen, I'm not sure if the kids that were in that meeting didn't mention that they raised issue, but that they were scared of raising issue because the administration just they were afraid of raising the issue because of the fear of the administration.
So I do have to say, to be fair, and my kids went through New Hartford. I can't imagine an administrator that I've ever dealt with that if I brought something to them that was homophobic or racist that they would ever let it go. I cannot imagine that. You feel that the current administration would allow bigotry? If someone, do you feel if someone brought that LeBron James picture to an administrator, a principal, a guidance counselor, a teacher, that they would have said, "Oh, come on, give me a break. There's nothing wrong with that"?
To be honest, I can't say what wouldn't have happened.
What would have happened?
I really can't tell you, but I can say what the students feel.
So, what I would say to that is, I can buy that the students, if the students complain, that they'll be, there may be retribution from other students, that there may be students who are like, I can't believe you turned me in, or whatever. And it could, that bullying could exist. I cannot imagine this day and age that the administration of the New Hartford School District would, whether the current, we're talking about the current one or the one prior, would tolerate any type of bigotry whatsoever.
Well, I don't think it has to do with the administration. I think this has to do more with the system. It's more of a systematic problem, not a personal or administrative issue.
Okay.
The administration is just fulfilling their role of the system, of the school system, and apparently from what we're seeing as parents, part of the EEI is that there doesn't seem to be a curriculum and the knowledge to attack this issue in a comprehensive manner.
Well, clearly, if an art teacher allowed, and I don't know if the art teacher didn't see this project, didn't recognize it, didn't know. I've never heard of such a thing. I don't know how this could have gotten through, but clearly, if somebody looks at something like that and doesn't understand it's problematic, well, that's a problem in itself, right? We would agree with that, I think.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So do you as a parent, let me ask you this in a different way. Do you as a parent feel that the administration is doing what they can to prevent any sort of inter-student offenses with regard to homophobic or racist behavior?
Well, what I hear from the students themselves is no. There needs to be more done.
I'm saying
for
you as a parent.
I would say as a parent, no. I've seen situations where kids get bullied all the time, and the resolution and the investigation is not done in a manner that it's consistent or transparent to the student community or to the parents.
Have you?
So it makes us question.
Have you reached out to? Have you reached? I mean, have you or the committee? Have you reached out to Dr. Tangora or any of the other administrators?
Yes, we have.
Okay.
Yes, we have, and he has. He also showed up to the EEC meeting.
Yeah.
Once this year, as far as I'm concerned, and that was two Tuesdays ago. And we reminded him of all the points that were suggested several years ago.
Yeah.
And we don't hear anything back in terms, hey, we're going to implement this. This is what's going to happen.
So we'll reach out to Dr. Tangora and revisit this again and see what we can figure out. All right.
Sure, thank you. And I just want to make you aware that we are, as a community and as parents, interested in continuing this conversation. We'll be meeting this Tuesday at the Treehouse Learning Center.
Okay.
In, where is it called? New York Mills.
In New York Mills. Okay.
Yeah, in New York Mills.
So when is that? That is when again?
This is going to be on Thursday at 6 p.m. at the Learning Tree in New York Mill.
Learning Tree. Treehouse.
Sorry.
Okay, that's all right.
Treehouse, yes.
Okay.
Treehouse, New York Mill.
All right, Nandi. Thank you for the update. We really appreciate it, and thank you for trying to make things better.
No, thank you.
Take care. Thanks. Okay, you too. Interesting. We'll talk to Kaz. Try to get him in, and but these are parents that say that not enough is being done. Interesting. Fred F. Collis and Sons, heating, cooling, and insulation. I don't know if you're going to, you do know that you're probably going to look at your thermostat kind of funny this week.
Yep.
And you might even be like, I think I'm going to turn it on. We're going with the air conditioning. Are you ready? Is your system ready? Have you already primed it up and get it ready to go? They can help. And a free home energy assessment can show you where you're losing money. You can check it all out at Fred F. Collis & Sons, fredfcollis.com. Call 315-860-1301.
We're here for you when that tree falls on your garage.
Uh-oh.
Or when that small roof leak turns into something bigger.
Uh-oh.
For all the uh-ohs in life, call the Frigo Agency. Life is complicated, and everyone's needs are different. When you sit down with the Frigo Agency, you're dealing with local people who understand your needs. So for all of life's uh-ohs, you need the Frigo Agency on Clinton Road in New Hartford. Get started today at uticaroameinsurance.com.
Aches and pains aren't trophies. They're just barriers keeping pros like you from getting the work done. You know this business can be backbreaking. All the more reason to partner with someone who has your back, like Clinton Tractor and Ferris Commercial Mowers. Ferris is about helping you finish strong and feel good doing it, with patented suspension technology that allows you to mow faster and get more work done in comfort so you can feel good tomorrow. Visit Clinton Tractor today or at clintontractor.net. Ferris, work hard, feel good.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online at hims.com/joy. Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation to determine the ED medication that's best for you, discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and a range of treatment options, including trusted generic alternatives to the name brands, at up to 95% off. ED is personal, and at Hims, so is treating it. Just go to hims.com/joy and get connected to a licensed medical provider online for free, with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit.
From the Stanley Theater Studio, WIBX Utica, Rome. W295EI. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM, a Town Square media station.
Hunter Biden in court. I'm Chris Foster, Fox News. Jury selection's happening this morning at a courthouse in Wilmington, Delaware for the president's son's federal gun trial.
250 people will be narrowed down to 12 jurors who will determine whether Hunter Biden